Good morning, everybody. Or nobody right now, I reckon, the way it looks, but that's all right. It's Friday, January something. Oh, January 5th. Hey, good morning, Avid and J&J. How are you? It's good to see y'all this morning. Running a little slow today. I Terry B. Hey, good morning. Hold on, I'm gonna stop my camera. Put this smoke out directly. My bad. How is everybody? Terry B. Good to see you. Y'all have a good happy New Year thing. New Year don't mean so much to me anymore these days. You know what I mean? I'm usually in bed before it happens. But actually, this year I wasn't. Muskrat and them was on live, and so I watched that or hung out in that. It was pretty cool. About I ain't went out on New Year's and God knows how long. It's amateur drinking night, and I didn't used to be an amateur. Morning, Nate. How are you, buddy? It's kind of cold out there today, ain't it? Might got some snow coming maybe Monday, it looks like. Not much, a couple inches maybe, but better than no snow, I reckon, since we ain't had any. We ain't really had much of a winter in the last couple years. I'm finishing off my cigarette. I lit it not realizing how close the time it was, so it is what it is. I need to figure out how to put a picture on that, when I do this, and I'll figure that out one of these days. I just ain't got around to it. Anybody got any plans this weekend? Those of you living in a warmer climate, that would not include me. It's 20 some degrees this morning. And man, 20 something. I hate winter time. I always planned on getting out of here when I got old like this for winter and going south. But I don't see that happening for a while. Did have some interesting stuff we'll talk about later. Get people's opinion on it. Unfortunately, it doesn't have to do with fishing, but it's still something interesting that I came across and didn't know existed. South is close to Emperor John. I'll come down there and I'll move right next door to you, and I won't cry. I promise that. I'll let my little dog go on you, pal. You think them pigs are bad? I have you high stepping back across the yard. And I let him poop in your yard just to see how mad I can make you. That's the kind of neighbor I am. Okay, now what do I have to do? Oh, there it is right there. All right, good morning, everybody. I'll take Dad to the doctor today to get his pain pump refilled. It's real good yesterday. The day before, not so much. I keep believing all that. Hey, a guy can dream. A guy can dream. You can't take my dreams. But yeah, Pop was pretty good yesterday. The day before, it wasn't real good. He was kind of out there wanting to remove the bolts on the walker with his uppers. And then he tried to eat with them in the bowl, the food in the bowl with the uppers, trying to scoop them. I'm like, no, Pop, hold them in here. This is not going to work. But I did take him with me to go get the mail last night. It was like late, though. It's like 8 o'clock or something like that. Late meaning it was dark, to go get the mail. Jamaica man, how are you? Good to see you, man. It's a horrible Jamaican accent. It's good to see you coming in, man. I checked your channel out a little bit. Good stuff. Be awesome to live down there. Things People take things nice and slow. I like it that way. Man, after I turn 50, I promised myself I will no longer hurry. And I'd make everybody mad because I don't hurry. It probably takes me 10 minutes from the time I walk out the door and get in the car before I drive off. In fact, last night, Dad was like, "What are you waiting on?" I said, "Well, I'm doing stuff. Just hold on. I got stuff. I got to get stuff together here." So I had to find out if there's anything live on YouTube that I can, sit the phone in the dash and watch while I'm driving. 5:10 a.m. here. Time to hit the water. You going fishing? Oh, very cool. What are you going to fish for today? Saltwater fishing, I'm assuming. 5:10 a.m. Time to hit the water. I don't know what it's time for me. I did bring my poles in the other day and took the old rigs off of them, and I got one I put line on that I'm going to use as my carp pole, I think. Snooks and snappers. You know up here what a snapper is, don't you? It's a turtle. Snapping turtle. They grow big and they can take your fingers off when they get real big. And they look prehistoric when they get big. Look like some kind of dinosaur left over, actually. Hunting snooks and snappers. Oh, red snapper, yeah. Made famous by the band Led Zeppelin and Jimmy Page. Google it, you'll understand. I read the biography, interesting. It's definitely fun back in their day. And they were, what's the word I'm looking for? Debaucherous, I think. And that red snapper plays right into that. Cool, man, you do, yeah. If you want to, it was a red snapper, John. Read the book. If you ain't never read the story, heard the story, Google it. Led Zeppelin and red snapper. You'll understand. Yeah, I like Bon Jovi, Jamaican. I've seen them a couple times in concert, actually. When Led Zeppelin, everybody like Stairway to Heaven and everything like that, and I never really got it until I bought their live 2 CD live set. And if you haven't listened to it, see if you can find it and listen to it. Then you'll get Led Zeppelin live is a totally different thing than their albums. And I got it then. I listened. I was like, oh man, this is awesome. I understand now. And see, Def Leppard, I seen them warm up for, who was it? Def Leppard. I think it was Kansas, maybe. And it probably had to be about 1979 or 80, I think it was. 81, thereabouts. When I forget which album it was come out. The drummer still had both arms. That's the timeline I know. Yeah, making me crazy, man. uh, and they quit making country. Hey, good morning, Lee. How are you, brother? You surpassed that in the 70s. But, man, they quit making country music in about 1986 or so, I think. I mean, the crap they make now is so bad. It's all the same. It all sounds the same. There's no one that is unique. I mean, there ain't no Wellen or Bocephus or nothing. And you can't, well, if you go to, I don't know, like down home in Kentucky and Tennessee and places like that, you'll find radio stations that play country music, real country music, and not what they play, around here. The top 40 country music countdown will tell you number 40 and number 1 all sound the same. It's just a different band's name. That's my bitch today is country music. There ain't no George Jones out there, no show Joe no show Joe the possum. Get drunk and not be able to put the show on. I don't know. Everything's so corporate. Hold on, Lee. I gotta write that one down, bro. Let me get my own notepad out. Because I got the memory of a snail or a gnat. Go back here and start it in the back like this. I probably heard it, but there were so many cool, almost crossover bands. Marshall Tucker Band, that's a pretty cool one. Hey, Rustic. Good morning, Mr. Rustic. It's good to see you, buddy. Things like Marshall Tucker Band and stuff that kind of fell in between, actually. But country music, man, it ain't what it used to be, in my opinion. What? So if you're gonna play in Dixie, you gotta have a fiddle in the band. Was that Alabama, wasn't it? They were probably the start of the slow transition to what pop music is now. Yeah, I mean, in the cross dressing bands, don't criticize it if you ain't tried it, John. That's all I gotta say. You know what I mean? It's kind of like mangoes. Okay, I never ate a mango in my life till I was probably 40, and once I ate an ice cold mango on a hot summer day, I got it. They're awesome. So don't criticize it until you try it. I'm just saying, you never know what you're missing. Jackal, probably my buddy of mine Tommy Bennett, I think it was, used to listen to them all the time. See, I wasn't a headbanger kind of guy, or oh, cool, younger years. Now, how old are you now, Jamaican? But I always liked different kind of music. Jackal me off. Gonna be one of them mornings. 48, cool. Yeah, yeah. I turn 60 next month. It's hard to believe. Never dreamed I'd make it. Actually, my goal this year is to somehow get back in some kind of shape so I can. There's a dirt bike race I want to ride. Me and my buddy that we haven't ridden in years, and he texted me the other day and called me. We talked about it. And he had neck surgery last year and decided, man, we needed to go racing again. I'm like, all right, we'll do it. Yeah, I sure did. Jackal me off. Yeah, oh, so that's an actual song. Okay, never mind. You can see I ain't never listened to him. It's not my style. Moved back. You lived in the States and moved back to Jamaica? Well, hell, I couldn't blame you. Who in the hell would want to live here right now, man? No, you can still say what you want here, but you got to be willing to accept the consequences of what you do. Which it's starting to swing back the other way. I think people are fed up with everybody telling them what they can and can't say. Heck yeah, he has. I seen the pictures. Don't let him lie to you, Rustic. I seen the pictures, pal. He catching babies. No, I'm kidding. He was catching some hogs. Which I'm gonna go down there and fish one of these days. Actually, my cousin took mom out yesterday to. They went to Walmart and running around and stuff. Which thank God someone finally did. Florida's still free. I'm pretty sure it's freer down there. Golly, man, brother, I'm sorry. Back pain's one of them that when you have it, man, it sucks and it affects every single moment of your life that you're awake. But she told me, she said that if I wanted her to, and I don't know why she ain't said this in the last 5 years, but if I wanted her to, maybe once a month she'd come over and stay for the weekend so I could go somewhere and go fishing. I'm like, I would love for you to do that. Are you kidding me? So we shall see if she follows through on it. My son and grandkids and daughter-in-law are coming this weekend to help me clean. I'm you can keep things pseudo clean by yourself, trying to take care of people, but I'm talking clean, like move everything and dust everything off, kind of deep cleaning crap that you just can't do on a regular basis by yourself. Yeah, I've never been in the desert. I've been to Vegas, but that don't count as going to the desert or anywhere like it, that has desert. In Arizona. February 14th, two torn ligaments and a torn rotator cuff. Oh man, that's gonna be a good shoulder surgery there. That's gonna be one of them long rehabs. I forget which one it was. I think it was my right one. I crashed racing a dirt bike one time and crashed and didn't go to the doctor or nothing, but it was one of them you can't raise your arm up for 4 or 5 month type things. And still went racing after it got better, and then crashed again trying to pass a guy who wouldn't get out of the way, and hit a tree square with my shoulder, hit the tree, and it was gone. Then I actually thought I broke it when I got back to the pits. Finally, I had to stop and get a guy to help me, or a guy walked over. I crashed. A guy helped me get the bike up, and I got on the bike and had to grab my hand and lift it up and set it on the throttle. And I was like, okay, that'll work. And all I could think of was, man, dude, don't fall off. So, I was trying to get back to the pits, but I was probably 5 miles out in the woods. You're still going? Yep. You'll be, oh man, boy, I don't know. Rustic, when's CatCon? You'll be like, what, 2 weeks out? Maybe a week out from your surgery? Boy, that'd be a long ride that close to having surgery. But, I mean, if anyone's never had shoulder surgery, I'm telling you right now, I would rather have another knee replacement than have shoulder surgery again. I've had both of them done. It Now my left one wasn't tore up as bad as my right one was. It was just a rotator cuff, and it only 5 or 6 months I was back to almost normal. Even though I didn't do total rehab, because who can afford to go 3 times a week to a rehab place or something. But my right one, man, it was trashed because there's 2 incision places where, and you can tell there was a new guy because the incision's kind of shaky looking. It was the VA in Indianapolis where I had it done, and a lot of the people from IU School of Medicine and IU doctors come over and do a lot of the treatment. And speaking of IU, that's what I was going to talk about. I didn't know there's a thing you can do in you IU School of Medicine's. Hold on. Anatomical Education Program. Thing called IU's Anatomical Education Program. Okay, so when mom dies or dad dies, they want to be cremated. No funerals, no, all that stuff. And you can fill this out, and they send your body after you're gone to the IU School of Medicine, and they use it to train medical students. And when it's all said and done, they cremate the body and send it back to you. And someone told mom about it, and she wants to do that. And I'm like, I'll look into it and see what it's about, And so I pulled it up yesterday and got the forms to fill out and everything. And I think that's what she wants her and dad to do, that instead of, then you don't pay for a funeral, you don't pay for cremation or nothing, and you may help somebody uh, along the way in their education. So I don't know. Anybody got a problem with that? I was kind of interested in people's opinion because I think once you leave your body, your spirit's gone. Your body's useless after that. Almost like a snake shedding skin. The skin's left away, but the spirit is off. The body's just a shell. Then it's a vessel for the spirit. So I don't know. That would be my opinion. But I don't know about you. I see we had grandma cremated, and just the cremation was $3,500, $3,500 thereabouts. So when they get done and they send mom and dad back, I'll take them up to Kentucky and put their ashes in the thing at the family graveyard in Kentucky. And it's where grandma and grandpa, or grandma's not there yet, she's still here. But, grandpa and my uncle and all my great grandparents and stuff are there. We have our own little graveyard on our property. So I don't know. That's just how I see because when I died, I don't have to worry about it. I'm not going to send my body to medicine, but mom and dad not from a campfire. Oh, it don't matter to me. You know what I mean? When they're gone, like I said, I don't think the body really matters after you die. I think your spirit goes to heaven or wherever you go or whatever your beliefs are. I suppose that's my beliefs, that you go to heaven. That's it, John. Just a box of ashes when it's all said and done. And I just, that's what she wants, and that's what I'll do. What time? I forgot to fire at 6 o'clock. I gotta remember 6 o'clock. I need to go in and give Dad some medicine. We decided yesterday that I'm not going to wake him up in the middle of the night or 4 or 5 in the morning to give him his medicine. He was doing pretty good yesterday, pain wise. But we did have to have the discussion about resisting me on trying to give it to him. You know what I mean? Because he was getting to the point where I don't want to do it. Like, dude, I don't want to have to regret or dread coming in to give you your medicine every day. I said, so we're going to have to come to an agreement here because I'm getting real tired of the resistance and I'm doing the best I can. And he promised me that he wouldn't do it no more. So we'll see. I mean, and it's kind of like, I don't know if you ever had anyone in your family that's like a paranoid schizophrenic or whatever. Okay, and they get them on medicine and they get good, where they feel well and they think they're doing good, and they want to just stop taking their medicine. You know what I mean? It's like, no, you can't stop taking your medicine when you start feeling good. The medicine's why you're feeling good. And so Dad yesterday afternoon, I mean, he was feeling good. He's up walking around, sort of walking around, doing the best he can, I suppose. But he said, "Well, I don't want to take that medicine. Just let's back off of it a little bit." And I'm like, "Pop, the whole reason you feel good today is because we've been doing it on a steady routine for the last 2 days after you tried to do the same thing 2 days ago." She says she doesn't take any pills. Yep. I'm grandma. Grandma, she was before she died, and she used to be the same way. You're just trying to poison me. I'm like, Grandma, I love you. Why would I poison you? No, I know what you're trying to do. And she had dementia. She was getting dementia real bad, and it happened when COVID started. So we had to take care of her for about 2 years because I wouldn't put her in a nursing home then. And oh, she used to crack me up. She'd get in the car with my cousin, and my cousin would come get her and take her to lunch a couple times a week or a couple times a month. And my cousin told me she'd get in the car, the first thing she'd do is lean over and whisper to her, "They're not feeding me." They're not feeding me. Uh-oh. I dropped it. There it is. My desk is full of fishing tackle. I was messing around last night. Or have any kids, yeah. Oh, but yeah, it's weird, Pop. every now and then it's almost like something clicks or whatever, and he just gets confused, and he's almost, like I said, he was trying to take the bolts out of the walker with his uppers. Hey, Chris, how you doing, buddy? And I ask him, Pop, what are you doing? Well, I don't know, really. And he gets real. It's like he's confused, and it's hard to explain. And he says it's medicine, and I'm like, I don't know, Pop. You've been taking medicine every day, and because he doesn't remember it happening until I tell him about it the next day. About just another thing in the day in the life of the Bugman. It's nice to have my fishing poles in here anyway. Got them cleaned up a little bit, and oh man, I had one of my Abu reels. Let's see here. Da, da, da. See if I can see it. The little thing that you use to put the bolt on the handle, and then this goes over it, and it screws onto the handle so the bolt don't come loose. Well, one of my Abus, this was missing, and the handle was loose. So I got one of these, but I got to find the little screw that go. You know what I mean? And it's probably not like you're just going to go to the hardware store and pick up a little bitty screw about that big. I'll stop and see, but I doubt it. So I got the boxes from these, and I'll see if I got one in them. I got to go dig them out, but they all come with the little wrench thing, and I couldn't find it at first, so I just used my little needle nose and snugged it up. It's been in here. I went out fishing or nothing. So I got to try and find one of those bolts for that little cap thing there to hold the thing from going loose again. Battery operated clock. Will that work there, Rusty? Because I think I got some of them I can rob one from. I got the little drawers, plastic things in the garage where you put bolts and nuts in. I got a couple of those, but they're in the back of my best friend's truck right now. We emptied the stuff out of the garage Saturday, and then he already had his buddy come over and tear the garage down and move it. Because I think I paid $5,700 have that. It's one of them metal buildings, that you see them all over the place. But I had it. It was 12 by 20, and the sidewalls, instead of being 7 feet, I went ahead and had them make them 8 feet. And I figured that way I could, put stuff up in the top and make shelving or whatever to put stuff up above. And if it was 8 feet, then you'd be less apt to bump your head on it. Local tackle shop that services reels. Dude, I'm in Indiana, man. The tackle shop here will sell you a reel. Ain't none of them servicing nothing. Oh, did it really, John? Yeah, now mine was pretty stout. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure a hurricane would have probably blew it away, but it was a pretty stout little building. I liked it, and then I got a good idea that it's going to end up out here anyway. What was you wondering there, Mr. Terry B? But yeah, I think he's just going to bring the garage out here, and because I sold it to him for $2,500, and he could move it. I said, $2,500, but you're going to have to move it. And so I just said, instead of paying me rent just don't pay rent for 5 months, and I'm like, I'm good with that. Yeah, I was going to say it pretty much became scrap after then. And the bad part is it ain't made of aluminum. Because if it was, that'd be all right. I'd scrap that bad boy up in my truck. Yeah, not where I am, Terry. Now, like I think down there where J Dog's at, they got a real good tackle shop there. You know what I mean? There you go, Nat or Nate. Yeah, that's how it is where I'm at. But I know that I guess that uh, there's a tackle shop right by J Dog's house, and then there's one right across from Cincinnati in Kentucky. There, that's not far off the interstate. That J Dog or not J Dog, Chris and Kelly, and I think Chad go to that is pretty, you know, full service kind of thing, I suppose. There's a cool thing. Here's a place called the Wilbur Wright. Uh, and it's not the Wilbur Wright airplane guy, or maybe it's not Wilbur Wright. But anyway, it's a nature preserve between me and a little town uh, south of here. We're kind of where I go fishing at. Is you hear me say I'm at Summit Lake or whatever? Well, it's right in that area, but it has a free firing range. Doesn't cost you nothing. You just go in there. They have a range master there or whatever for from like 8 till 5, even in the wintertime. But it's totally free, man, which I thought was pretty cool. I didn't know about it until a while back. I drove past there and seen the sign. It's one off the beaten path kind of road. But I thought that was cool. Wow, thank you, Rustic. I surpassed 400 subs the other day. Not that I even knew I had 350, mind you, because I don't ever look at that. But I looked at that the other day and I was at 399. And I was like, man, I got 399 subs. Somebody subbed to me. And I think my son done it. He texted me and said, I'm number 400. And he doesn't use YouTube very much. So when's that final college football game? Is that Monday, I reckon? Giveaway next Friday. Oh, cool. I wouldn't mind getting to 1,000 just so I could have the money thing, even though I won't never get money. But it'd be just nice to see it there at the bottom. And the what's the other one you can do with that? The money thing and what's the other thing you can do? Oh, cool, Dale. Now there used to be uh, Sharina and her husband. He's an Abu Garcia. I'd almost say expert. And so if I need him service, that's where I'll send him. He's real good. And I had one. My neighbor gave it to me from across the street. It was, God, I'm gonna say it was a 1976 or something like that. And I sent it to him. And hey, y'all go sub to Terry B and get him over 2 subs. Let's get him to 10. But anyway, uh, I sent it to him to have it redone for me. Go through and clean it all and fix everything up and everything. And when he got done, I asked him, "Hey, Mount Joe, you for that? Oh, you don't owe me nothing, man." And I said, "That's good because I was going to give it to you anyway." So I just give him the real, just because I wanted to see if he'd charge me or not, and he didn't. And I was going to give him the real regardless. But I was just gonna, if he would have said, "Hey, $25 or whatever," I said, "Hey, man, how about if I just give you the real and we call it even?" Because I'm the kind of guy that would either A, use that reel and trash it, or B, I would lose it or sell it or something. So I just gave it to him because he would appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like a vintage reel or whatever. Submariners. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, Dale. Abus are awesome, man. I like them. Dog. How are you, man? It's good to see you, buddy. Guy does one of the best things on YouTube as far as on Jody's Live. His news report or advertisement thing or whatever, totally original, totally fresh, and it's I like it anyway. I thought it was cool. Then I got this real here on what's that? My Whisker Seekers rod. It's a PC Fun Torrent. I'm gonna make this my carp rod because it was actually a it's the Chad Ferguson signature series, and it's supposed to be a 7.6 medium, but I don't know. Maybe I was different on assuming how strong a medium would be, and I think I was thinking along the lines of medium heavy, but I just think it's too. I mean, you could land a big catfish with it. Don't get me wrong, but I just it's not as stout as my Tangling with Cats 10-foot rod or whatever. Ducket spinning rod next week. I'm gonna have to Google ducket. That's real close to another word. Just replace the D. Is that your name, Catfish Dog Tim? Is that your real name? Because I don't pay attention to that stuff. Is that what it is? So, John, I'm assuming they're pretty good rods in, and they aren't cheap. And I know doing what you do, the last thing you want to do is have to mess with rods and reels when you're out there trying to, do a charter or whatever. Because that wouldn't look professional. Although John and professional just don't seem to mix. I love you, John. It's fun to give you a hard time, man. You're good people. Oh, got a party going on in the living room. If it is party poppers, somebody's going to have to clean it up. Oh, I know what Supercross starts this weekend. Okay, my weekend just got better. Come to think of it. That's cool because Saturday would be the opening round of the Supercross season. Said his wife was farting. Okay, Jamaican, I got you already. I think we got each other. I forget whose live you was in. Now I can't see who's a mod and who's not. So let's see. Let me use my phone and I can see the Jamaican man. You ain't one, are you? Here, we'll hook you up because that is moderator, standard moderator. There you go, man. Dale Hayslip doesn't have one. How's that, Dale? You should have had one the first week or so. I'm scrolling through here because if you ain't got a wrench, let's see. J don't have one. You gotta let me know because I don't pay attention to crap like that. So if you don't have one, say something if you're around all the time. Because I'm an airhead. I don't find stuff like that. So there. And somebody, whoever can post links and knows how to do that, have at it. I don't care. I don't know how to do all that stuff. I don't want my life to be that complicated. It's hard enough to do a live. I'm glad StreamYard makes it so simple. Even though I did have to start paying them, it's like $20 a month or something to do it, but that's all right. It'll be good in the wintertime. And hopefully I'll do more fishing next year, especially if my cousin follows through with her promise to come once a month or so. And then she did say she'd come and stay for a week. And I was like, do you know how much I would appreciate it if you did that? I didn't like I got enough money to go anywhere, but I can go down and fish with J Dog and have gas money and food money, you know what I mean? Because work's slow right now with the interest rates at 7%. Don't worry about it, Terry. Throw it up there, brother. I don't care. You'll find out and stuff like that. I don't care. The only thing I care about is somebody comes in here spamming some porn or something. It's like, come on, man, get a life. Those kind of things I ain't about. But as long if you throw link up anything you want, as long as it's something you wouldn't care if your grandmother watched. Anyway, I take that back. John's here, so something that I'd almost, if I had the money, I'd go down and see John. If I had my cousin come for a week, but the way I drive, it take me 2 days to get there. I'd get to stay one day and then 2 days back because I drive slow. So I would drive 2 days to hang out with John one day and drive 2 days back home. Because I made that straight through trip to Cocoa Beach a couple times for Christmas break with my son to go surfing. And that's okay if you're young, man. But after you hit 40, that 19, 20 hours straight in the car is just kind of tough on a guy. Squeal like a pig, boy. You get them panties down. You get them panties down right now. You got to know the movie to get that one. And you got to wonder what Ned Beatty said to his agent after he read the script. It's like, this is going to follow me the rest of my life probably if I do this scene. Yeah. Because you got to admit, no, he could have become the most decorated actor in history with multiple Academy Awards and everything, but he had always been known as the guy that got nailed in the woods by the toothless hillbilly. For cinematic history, yes, sir, he did. I mean, it was pretty cool though when it finally swished over to Burt Reynolds in the woods with the bow pulled back. Like, yeah, let's stick a broadhead through this guy's heart. Well, hi, D. Yeah, it's so good to see you this morning. I'm in a good mood today, I guess. Oh, shoot. What time is it? Okay, I'm good. If it hits 6 o'clock, somebody remind me if I space it because I need to go in and give Dad some medicine. Mr. Sure. Oh, that must be Jamaica. Where's Chadwick at this morning, Miss D? I seen you pop into the bait shop last night and keep them guys straight. That's a full-time job, keep them guys in line. I don't even know if it's possible. And you should really get wife of the year for that boat, I'm telling you. Oh, wait, and the truck. Jesus. I mean, but let's face it, the guy works a lot. So definitely nice. It's good to see hard work pay off when you know what I mean? He's still in bed? No kidding. And, you know, it's hard to put in a lot of hours. And I used to do it when I was young, like 300 hours a year overtime, stuff like that. And it was hard to do, but man, it was sure nice to, walk in the garage and see a new dirt bike sitting there, or get a nice $500 pair of racing boots you always wanted, stuff like that. Laughing Catfish, that's it. Sharia's husband's name. Uh, ah. In fact, I think I sent him an email the other day because I hadn't thought about him. I hadn't seen him in a while, and I had one of my drinking cups has their sticker on it, and I think it was an email. It might have been a text because I had his number, I think, too. I can't remember now, but I reached out to him. I haven't heard back, I don't think, but I reached out to say, hey man, just thinking about you. I hadn't seen you in a while. It's hard telling. Life gets busy. Yeah, Thomas, thanks, Rustic. Rustic, you got good memory, man. You must not have done no drugs when you was young. John understands that one. Hmm. Where'd Lee Evans go? He was in here. Saturday night show. What's happening Saturday night, Rustic? You have to fill us in here. Hold on, Rustic. I'll throw the link up. Come up real quick and tell us what you got going on Saturday night. If you want to, that is. If you don't want to, it's not a problem, brother. But I could be missing something. I don't pay attention, or you probably talked about it and I wasn't in the thing or something. Who's that, Rustic? Thomas? Yeah, he's good. He's good people, man. He's really good guy. Mellow. Lives on the White River too, right on the river, down south. And I would go down there and go fishing. And I think you can put your boat in right there, or somewhere close to him. You can put your boat in the river, right? I mean, it's like a couple blocks or something, if I remember correctly. I was gonna go down and fish with him, but I didn't get to because of the way things turned out. But I'd sure like to have. Man, I need to change the oil in my Ford. Bad. Need to change it. It's like way over. I hadn't paid attention to it. And I got the oil in the filter. I just like, man, I don't know if I want to do that in 20-degree weather. Because there's a bunch of stuff in my garage that ain't worth anything that I'm going to end up getting a dumpster this spring and putting it in. Because you literally can only walk through a little path through the garage to get to the two freezers to get meat out of them. And I got the back of the Buick's full of stuff, and my car is full. Actually, my car is full of stuff that we just got out of the garage. Like boxes with all my oils and stuff like that were in the shelf. And in fact, I got to go by and pick that shelf up. They laid it against the fence I seen when I was over there last night. Oh, hold on. Okay. I gotta kill the camera. I gotta get Dad's medicine ready. I'm still here though. Got a runny nose today. Hey, how you doing, Kevin? Yeah, I said meat. There's a half a beef in one freezer and a whole hog in the, or half a hog in the other one. That syringe can go. It ain't no good no more. In fact, I forgot I was supposed to get the ham out of one of them for New Year's Day, and I totally spaced it. And I laughed. My buddy said, "There's two hams in there. You can have one of them." I'm like, "All right, that'll work." And if you never had beef from a cow that's like grown local or whatever, if you got a place around you that does that, by all means, at least go buy some at their little shop or whatever. It's worth it. You'll see the difference. Oh. Dr. Bug with the medicine coming through. Just call me Dr. Feelgood. They call me Dr. Feelgood. Or if you want to go way back, who was it in the movie Tommy? Uncle Eddie. You're on your way to work there, Kevin? The one that makes you feel all right. You know, I hate so bad to have to go in and wake him up in the mornings, though. You know what I mean? It's just like, dang, man. Because there was a couple nights he didn't sleep much, you know. So it's like, dude's been sleeping good. He's snoring, and you got to wake him up. Is it warm down there, Kevin? And by warm, I mean relative to where I'm at. I said, damn, the Pusher Man. See, they don't make good rock and roll like that no more, John. I'm telling you, nobody makes good music anymore. All the good licks were stolen or were originated in the 70s and 80s, and they're all 60s, 70s, and 80s, and they just ain't nothing original out there now. Let's see. All right, guys. Sorry, I'll be right back. I gotta go give Papa's medicine. I gotta go get him some fresh water first. This will take about 10 minutes or so because he'll have to get up and go to the bathroom and stuff too. So I'll be back here directly. Tom Petty sang Ned Beatty had the hardest part. He did, didn't he? Good call, Chris. I like that. Yep, he did. That's too cool. All right, I'm back. I couldn't do it, man. He's sleeping too good. I couldn't wake him up. All right, Rustic, how you doing, buddy? Is that you or me calling tonight?
Hey, morning, Viking. Hey, Bugman'S.
Is that me causing that?
No, my TV, I have my big screen. I've got turned down.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, what's that noise? That'll work.
You know, yesterday they found out my mother-in-law's got beginner's Alzheimer,
Oh, you're kidding me, man.
and she's hallucinating and seeing things right now.
Yeah, Grandma done that.
And wife just came in here and asked me, said, "What happens if I get Alzheimer like my mama and I run out the front door naked down the street?" And I said, "Well, I'll get naked and run beside you so you don't look foolish."
I like it. I like it. They'll put us both in the same place.
Yeah,
I like that.
I
I'm
told
gonna.
him, I said, "We'll get you that hover round. I'll get in the sidecar, let you drive, and we become the naked Risconians."
Oh, that's hilarious.
Hey, Terry. Yeah, I told her. I said, we'll have fun with it.
Yeah, I couldn't wake him up, man. He was sleeping too well. I don't think it was you, Terry. It's something Rusty's got making that noise. It's like an echo. Can you hear it? Can you hear that, Rustic?
No, I don't hear nothing.
Yeah, there's something. It's almost like you can hear me in the background, or it's like something making a noise. Can you go out and come back in, see if it clears up?
Yeah, I will.
All right.
Might
I'll
send
throw,
a link. I don't know.
I'll throw the link back up there again real quick. Hold on. Yeah, let me make sure it ain't there now. Okay, there we go. We know that was not me then. Okay, that's cool. I'm having a cigarette. I'll turn my cam back on when I get a chance. Yeah, man. Grandma, I used to get up about every morning. I get up and grandma and I'd sit down and talk to her for about an hour. I got all kinds of little video clips of it, and she would tell me about the guy with the top hat. Oh, there we go. She would
That
tell
even
me,
better.
yeah, I don't know. Now it's coming from here. We'll let it go and we're out. But she would tell me every morning the guy with the top hat was out in the backyard again. So I'd tell her, I'll take care of Grandma, don't worry. And I'd go out back and yell, hey, don't come in my yard no more. I'd go back and tell her, I told him don't come back no more. And it'd satisfy her for the day.
Yeah. Can y'all in chat hear an echo?
Know if it's good now. There we go. But yeah, man, did she live close to you?
Yeah, she lives over on the next street right on the corner.
Okay, yeah, because with grandma, it progressed slowly for about 6 or 8 months, and then it got bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To the
Morning,
point
Randy.
to the point where I'd have to keep an eye on her all the time. Just because you didn't want them to get hurt or anything. And the getting outside is actually a serious thing, especially at night. Because I
Yeah.
would wake up sometimes and I'd hear something and it'd wake me up. I'd go in, grandma would be messing with the door. So I had to put a funny lock up kind of high that she couldn't see and didn't know about.
Yeah, she's like I said, she's in beginner stage. She knows who everybody is, but she's seeing people.
Mm-hmm.
Morning, Wendy.
Yep. Grandma would stand at the front door in the morning time and wave. Grandma, who you waving at? Oh, I'm waving at Virgil. He's headed to work. That was my grandpa's name. I was like, oh, okay. I didn't see him. And the best thing you can do is don't confuse them. If they tell you they're waving at so and so going to work, just play along because I guarantee you there's no doubt in my mind they're seeing it.
Yeah.
And
Well, I told her, I said, I know you believe you see it, but I'm telling you, and there ain't nobody there.
mm, you'll do a lot better just playing along.
Yeah, our doctor told us that don't play along. Get her to convince herself that they're not there.
Yeah, well, with
But
grandma,
it's hard whenever your mind's telling you and you're seeing it.
Yeah, well, and that's what I mean. If she's seeing it and I tell her it's not there, what's it going to do? To me, the doctor may think he knows better, but I lived through it. That
Yeah,
it
she's just
it
gonna
would
believe that
it would
uh,
confuse her.
you're lying. You're lying. They're there.
Yep, and it would confuse her if I told her it wasn't nobody there.
Yep.
She'd ask me, "Well, why do I see him?" And you tell someone with Alzheimer's or dementia, well, it's because you've got Alzheimer's and your mind's going or whatever. They don't understand that at that point. So I just play along. I did with grandma and it helped. And I know, believe it or not, my cousin bought her a baby doll and brought it over one day and gave it to her, and it occupied her time.
Yeah.
It unbelievable the difference that it made, believe it or not, just giving her a little baby doll. I got all kinds of video clips of sitting there and talking to her. But we didn't have a doctor. I didn't have a doctor, and I just went with what I. And I had a brother-in-law when I was married that he was a paranoid schizophrenic, and if he got off his medicine, he'd start seeing things and stuff. And
Yeah.
to get him to the hospital, I'd have to play along with what he was saying and seeing and stuff like that. So I could
I
get him to
said
go to
that
the
his
hospital.
mom says that she's never been married, never had kids.
Yeah, yeah, he tells me that all the time in my life.
You found you under the fishing dock, buddy.
Yep, exactly. If you fish, they know you're a
Yeah.
liar.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a hard thing to go through, man. And now I'm going through with Pop. He's in the early stages. Like Grandma, it would only happen every now and then.
Yeah. She was so bad the other night. I went down and checked on her, and I walked by and the light came on, and I was at the window because she keeps the doors locked, both of them.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there, puppies are looking at me. I'm waving at them, and I'm waving at her, waving at her. She looks at me, she waves. She just kept sitting there looking, looking, looking. I rapped on the window and told her, said, I'm real, let me in.
Yep. Yeah, it's
It took her a minute to realize, well, I guess he is real. I'm not saying
yeah, yeah. You got to be careful. It ain't gonna be long. You're probably gonna have to move her over your way or something.
I'm sorry to hear that, Wendy.
Oh, did she, Winnie? That's so awesome.
John said, no pick, no fish. Stop that fishing line.
I know Grandma. She was 103 when she died, and she had finally progressed to the point that she didn't even know us. And she just thought it was some nice person coming to see her, and sit with her a while or something. And that was Grandma. It'll be a whole different world with Pop, though. You know.
Morning, Mama, son.
Hey, good morning, rail fans. How are you? It's good to
Hey,
see
Rowdy
you.
Royal came in. Wendy came in.
Yeah, I seen Wendy and said, "Hey." So Wendy's been through it. She knows how hard it is, man. It's just, and I don't understand why God lets someone live that long till they get to that point. You know what I mean? It's like, God, why would you not just go ahead and take them then when they're at that stage? But those are questions that'll be, maybe with grandma, it was preparing me to know what to do when dad starts through it or something. You know what I mean? I'm sure there's a reason.
Well, I've never been around anybody with Alzheimer's and seen how they done and stuff like that. And,
Well,
uh, but they
it is.
said that they got uh, they're going to try to up this one medication for her to help her with seeing them things. They said if it don't work, they're going to put her in a psychiatric ward in the hospital to try to help her out, where
Yeah.
they can get one on one with her.
Yeah. Yeah. And
And I think that's going to drive her over the edge because she don't like being away from home at all.
yeah, that's the other part. The any change from the daily routine or stuff is really hard for them.
Very
Yep,
big.
John.
No
That
bed broke off shark teeth in my rub rail came from a snowman.
that the John, my grandma was the same way. She was 97, I think, and cracked her
Morning,
hip at the
dog.
grocery store. and wouldn't even use a walker, refused to use a walker. And when the ambulance come to get her, they asked me for her medication and handed her one bottle. There you go. That's all she takes. I'm like, yep, that's it.
Wow.
But she grew up, in the mountains of Kentucky, and they grew their own food and animals and crap like that. She didn't eat the poison we eat today.
He took the Rosine, the
Thorazine, the,
Thorazine,
the Thorazine shuffle.
like Zorro, Thorazine.
Yeah, Thorazine's a really, I mean, it's a really strong drug that pretty much, I know they give it to psych patients in the psych ward, and we used to call it the Thorazine shuffle because they
I don't know
just,
what
most,
she's taking or they gave her. So, but anywho,
yeah, it'd
how's
be all,
everybody doing this morning? It's cold here.
yeah, dude, it's 20 degrees here today. Oh, I'm done
Yeah, it
smoking.
shows 28 right now. What it says anyway.
Yeah, I turned the weather guy on. I was like, you got to
Look,
be
look,
kidding
there's
me.
Bugman. There's
There's
Bugman.
there too. An angry whack job. See that I don't senility. I never even thought about that being something different.
I'm not very good at docking my boat.
That's what I was laughing at. Oh man, I don't go nowhere where they got fish that can eat me. Sorry,
Yeah.
it ain't for me. 50
Last time we was at
degrees.
Myrtle Beach, we was all swimming in them waters. And later that afternoon, a guy pulled out a 10-foot shark out of there fishing from the shore. And it
Ooh,
took him a long time to get that dude in. But he didn't
yeah,
even get it all the way in. He got it
yeah.
right up to the wave and it snapped the line. And I thought we were swimming in that water. Oh, heck no. It looked 10 foot, but it was probably about 6 or 8, somewhere in there. All I seen was teeth. And I said, oh, heck no. Y'all ain't swimming back in that water. I ain't that.
Oh, Chris, I bet it was. That was the hardest thing with Pop is taking things away from him that he was used to doing, man. I come home, I got brake pads for the car or the van at the time, and told him I gotta go see a house. I come back, we'll change in brakes. Well, I come back, he's got the car jacked off, the wheels off, changing the brakes. I'm like, Pop, whoa, wait a minute. First thing I ask is, where's the jack stands at? Well, it got jacked up. It's fine. No, it ain't. Put jack stands there. That's my pet peeve. If you're working on a vehicle, it's jacked up. You put jack stands under it.
South Carolina's 25 degrees. Jeez. I thought they had warmer weather than that.
He was in his 50s? Really? Oh, man. I wonder, in that instance, did they ask you about if they could use his brain for study? You know what I mean? Being such an unusual case, they may have, because my grandma on my dad's dad was an electrician for the power company, and he got electrocuted to death when my dad was 14, and his mom went kind of crazy, and she ended up having a lobotomy, and she actually came back from it. And when she died, they wanted to use her brain to take her brain to study and try to figure out how she came back from a lobotomy to being, almost normal. And but dad said, nope, she lived a hard enough life. I'm not going to do that. But so I was wondering about that. Because that's awful young, man. 50s. That, my goodness, that has to be an extremely rare case, I would imagine. I don't know, you know what I mean? But I'd sure imagine that's a rare one. The heck keeps beeping my darn phone at 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning? I tell you what. Okay, I see now. Nope. Wait, I gotta catch up. Hold on. I'm sorry. I had to. Somebody had texted me.
Oh,
Fishing on my lord. Man, I'll tell you what. Oh, the last two times me and Dad went bluegill fishing. Okay, he had this little fish locator, and it was a cheap old one, but to show the little fish swim by. Well, every time one come through the screen, it would beep, and he couldn't hear it. Well, he'd leave that fish locator on. He's in the back of the boat. I couldn't get to it. And it'd be going beep, 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 as you run over all these fish. And I'd be like, Pop, turn that fish locator off. What? What? I said, you can't hear that beeping over and over. No, I can't hear it, but I'm looking at it. We're in a strip pit that literally, once you pull away from the shore and the bank slopes in, they're as flat as a pool table on the bottom, 30 foot deep, just flat where they strip the coal off. Man, that used to drive me crazy.
have you ever used one of them that you put on another pole and you cast the little ball out there? It's got a battery in it. Throw it
I've
out there and you slowly pull it back to you and watch the screen.
Yeah, I've heard of that. I heard a good one the other day someone was talking about, and it might have been in a live or something, but uh, they were crappie fishing, and the guy catches a crappie
See, Chris,
and put a piece of fishing line with a balloon on the end, and maybe 10 foot long or whatever, and throw that crappie back in, and followed the balloon till it took him to where the school of the crappie was. Then he, got the line, pulled it in, and unhooked the crappie and let it go.
yeah, I've
It's
heard people doing that.
I never heard of it before. I was like, man, what a great idea. So I'm gonna remember that. Bluegill school up like that also. Mom uses her maiden name. See, it's just it's mind-boggling what that stuff does to the brain. Hey, Chris, I'm sorry I didn't say you say bye, buddy. My bad. I hope you ain't left yet. See you, man.
John says, see you, big nasty.
I like it. Chris, good guy. Yeah, I see Terry. Yeah, I'd never heard of it before. But I'm like, man, what a great idea. I'm supposing the pre fish locators. That was a good way to find
But
out.
man, your luck will be like mine. It'd be like that little girl fish from Finding Nemo. Just keep swimming, just keep swimming.
Yeah,
Keep
yeah.
all that one
Well,
fish along, not catch
all the
nothing.
way around the lake, it'd be the one fish that's in training for the fish marathon, so it swims laps around the lake.
Yeah, it's lost. Just keep swimming, just
Yeah,
keep swimming, and we're following, jigging, not catching nothing. Like what in the world?
I remember we used to say, like in August, bluegill fishing, it'd be real slow. And these lakes, the strip pits aren't really big. Some of them are, maybe a mile long, if that. And in August, it'd be kind of slow, and you'd catch a bluegill, and then you'd be out there and cast out, and maybe 5 or 10 minutes later, you'd catch another one. I was, yeah, it'd make the lap around the lake. And then his whole school goes around the lake, comes back and takes a bite, goes around, takes him 10 minutes to swim the perimeter.
The easiest way to do it is get one of them little tracking devices that you put in the rear behind the rear fin
Yep, yep,
top,
that'd be
and then
cool.
just follow him around out there and see where he's hanging out. When you
Yeah,
get over the top of him, you'll know if there's other fish down there, and that's where you want to be. And you catch him, throw him back.
yep, that's cool. And I like, it's like when Dad bought the fish locator thing. I'm like, I like that if it's a new body of water and you don't know how deep it is, so I can use that to follow how the depth and stuff. But other than that, I want the challenge of trying to read the terrain and the water and see if I can figure out where the fish are myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm just weird like that. It's like I want to try to do it the old way, and I understand I may not catch as many fish, but I don't know. Maybe it's because I just enjoyed that challenge aspect of it. I don't know.
Well,
But now you can practically watch yourself put the line in the hook in the fish's mouth with that one thing, and I'm like, no, no, I'm sorry. Maybe if you're tournament fishing for money or something, but I want it to be a challenge.
well, for me, I only use the fish finder when I'm crappie fishing. It's just to find the slopes,
Yep, exactly.
find any kind of
Into
debris
the
on the
bottom.
bottom, and if I see something down there, I'll try it. But
Yep.
most of these, when I'm trolling, most time I'm just trolling. So if I'm on the slope,
Yep.
I want my poles to set from here to here on that slope.
Okay, and just follow the contour around. I see what you're
Yeah.
saying. Yep. And that's what I look for when I'm bluegill fishing or whatever. The points come out and the drop offs and stuff like that, and you can usually, you'll see the fish gathered up on one side of the drop off or whatever.
Yeah,
If
John, we don't want to know where they put that.
you hold on, coastal
But
fever.
yeah, even when I'm out in the boat and I'm looking for underwater points and stuff like that,
Yeah. Hey Dave.
where it comes to a point or it comes over something and it drops off, makes a hole. I want to see that on the deal. That way I can
Yeah.
drop a bait in there if there's anything in it. But I mean,
Hubby,
it'll tell you with a loop if there's something down there.
hubby's
But,
breakfast and lunch. You can definitely make extra, and I'll come by and get some. I'm
see,
so
hey, Dave, what's going on?
I'm tired of cooking, and I don't cook good. I hate to eat my cooking. I feel so sorry for mom and dad.
Yeah,
But we've got one of those little ranch things that's about this big. I forget what it's a four or something or whatever. I forget. I got it bookmarked somewhere how to use it, but I'll be interested to use it in the place where I've been going carp fishing the last couple of years out the local reservoir by me because according to the guy who used to own the bait shop out there for years and years, that there's blues and flats in that reservoir. He said there was. He said he knows for a fact. So, I mean, it's not one of them, super fancy ones like everybody has. But I want to, according to the book, it shows the arc and stuff of, the fish. And I just want to get out there and try it and see how it works because I have no idea about the bottom of this reservoir, what's down there.
yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
see that one you cast out from out of the pole, that is good for the bank guys. They can actually cast out at their rods and start casting that. And I said, well, I need to reel this one in and put it over there because it seems like there's some fish right there. Instead of
uh,
waiting to come to them, they can throw that.
but what has helped me a lot is navionics. Because I can see these lakes that I've in the two lakes. They're two reservoirs. I shouldn't call them lakes. They're man-made reservoirs, but these are places I've been going to for years, but I never knew the contours of the bottom or anything because I never had a boat out there with a fish locator or anything on it. And with Navionics, I found out the one place I was fishing, if I casted another, I don't know, 15, 20 feet out, I was going to hit a hole that dropped off to 20 feet from, 6 or 8 feet. And I found that on Navionics, and I'm like, oh wow, So in the first time I go there, I cast way out there where this hole is, and I catch like a 6 pound channel or something, which is big for around there.
Yeah, the with mine that I got, it gives me the water temp and everything. And uh, what I found
Yeah.
out to find that thermocline, man, if you're trolling down through there and you see a slope and all the fish are sitting in one spot at a certain depth on its slope, that's the thermocline for them right there.
Is that what that is? I didn't know. I heard you guys talk about a thermocline, but I never had any idea what it was. So that's what it is when it slopes down and you got a group of fish, say in the middle of the slope there. That's what
Yeah, when you're going out through there and they're all about the same depth right in
yeah,
there,
yeah.
that's where that's what I call perfect water. That's what they call perfect water. That's where the fish like to be.
So
And
then
then
nine
if it
times
warms
out of
up,
ten,
they'll move up. If it cools off, they'll move back down to that little warmer spot.
yeah. So 9 times out of 10 other areas in the lake that have the same typical kind of contour. That's what you like for slide bobber fishing. You know what to set your depth at. It's like bluegill fishing. I made that little bitty rod up because I don't really care how many I catch because I don't like to clean fish that much anyway. But with that little bitty rod, if I catch a nice hand-sized bluegill, it'd be like fighting a largemouth bass. I just do it like that. I get the fun out of it. I don't. If I hate keeping more than 10 fish because usually I'm going to bring them home, clean them that evening, and cook them because there's nothing better than the fish that day fresh out of the water.
With all that water in Missouri, Rustic, when we going to see you out again? Uh, Donald, I'm in southeast Missouri. I'm not fishing for a while. If I do need to be going, that's just more trout. But I can't cast a catfish rod out because of my shoulder.
I was getting ready to say, I'll bet you have trouble because of that shoulder.
Yeah, it'll be in April, probably about April before I start fishing again. Be able to.
Yeah. John, a 5 pound bass is a monster up here. It's all in the perspective, man. I've never, believe it or not, I've never went bass fishing. I've caught bass before, but I've never actually went out and bass fished.
Yeah,
I just never, had the chance before.
y'all would definitely see me and the guys from the show that in May. We're going to have a lot of lives, do a lot of videos, and there's going to be all the guys from the group from Saturday Night Bites. It's going to be in one spot, and so y'all in May, y'all want to look out for that about middle of May.
I would like to go skipjack fishing one time with you guys over there. That looks like fun.
Oh, it is. I love doing that.
Yeah,
I
don't want to catch 100 skipjack or whatever. I just like to go out there and reel them in.
Yeah.
Hi, Chadwick. Good to see you, buddy.
You just want to find reel them in. We'll put about 3-4 jigs on your line. Let you just throw them.
Yeah.
I throw up to 7. So when I'm throwing out, I got just a little over 6 foot of line.
That rod right there would make a good skipjack fishing rod. Actually, it's not too big.
Yeah,
it looks bigger than it is on.
I just use a 7-foot bass rod with a light reel that hold 20-pound test line.
Yep, that's exactly what that is right there. It's 7.6 and it's got 20 pounds.
After you throw 1,000 times, man, your shoulder that reel gets heavy.
Yeah, well, that's one of the low profile jobbies. It don't weigh nothing. You know what I mean? It's one of them really low profile ones.
Yeah.
It's not a big. I got little hands. It's a small reel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it don't weigh anything. This rod here would be perfect for like skipjack, or I think it's too big to make it a crappie rod for fun. If I was catching crappie that I wanted to catch a bunch and get them in the boat real quick or whatever, it'd be good for that.
Yep. Morning, Parker.
Parker, how you doing, buddy? It's good to see you, man. Is it getting daylight out here yet? Nope.
Hey, there's Curtis. Clydeman Curtis.
Hey, Curtis, how you doing, man?
Come up here, Curtis.
You are a good man. It's good to see you today.
Yeah, John, when I go skipjack fishing, if they're biting good, I'll make 1,000 casts.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll catch my limit. If they're not biting good, man, you'll make 5,000 casts. And let me tell you, your shoulder at the end of the day on that 2-hour drive home, you're like, I can't move my arm.
Boy, Dave, it was a heck of a fish, wasn't it? Well, I watched that live you guys done the other year, man. I don't know how many fish you caught. 100, at least 100.
Did you hear me when Chad came in? I told Chad come in.
Yeah. I said, "Hold, Chadwick." Hey, Eric, how you doing, man?
Freezing.
I'm with you, brother. It ain't much different here than it is there. Take my word for that.
I think it's like 18 bombing degrees. John, I don't. John Smallwater, I don't want to hear it.
It was 22 or so when I got up this morning. It's up to 28 now, I think the
Man,
weather guy said. But yeah, it's cold. It's winter for sure. We have winter time.
I can't even see what mine is anymore.
How do I switch those around? I don't guess I can. I was gonna put Eric back down on the. Nope, it don't work like that, does it? Oh
Good.
well.
It's good.
Well, I'd like the other way with Eric on the bottom. That way the emotion's down here. But oh well, it ain't that big a deal. Is that snow there on the ground, Eric, or
Not
frost?
yet.
Is
Not
it?
yet. It will be tonight. No, that's just the concrete.
Okay, I couldn't tell. It just looked real white.
Oh, he's at his truck, service truck.
Yeah,
He worked.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm in the work truck already.
yeah. It's
I pulled in and they had the key in here. I turned her on. Then I walked in there and did all my stuff to get ready. Shut
yep.
the back door. All that. So it's warm in here already.
Parker said it's 20 degrees there. Hopefully hit the river this evening.
Well,
Stay
I had
warm.
to.
I think the snow's supposed to move in tonight.
Yeah, we're supposed to get something here too.
Well, Dad went with me to get the mail at the old house last night about 8 o'clock or so, and I went out and like, ooh, I better start this car up pretty quick. Mr. Curtis, all right, buddy, there's the link if you want to come up. But yeah, and we've been lucky. We ain't had no winter yet, and it's January, so if it gets cold, I really shouldn't complain too much.
It's coming.
Yeah, yeah. We haven't had any snow yet at all. None. I mean, I had a little
Yeah,
dusting.
Yeah, that's all we've had. Lessons here and there.
like it was last Saturday morning. Don't hold me to that, but we had a few flakes fall, but they were so fine. You mean you really had to look to
Yep,
see them.
yep.
But it did last but 10 minutes.
What do they say when it comes in like a lamb, it'll end like a lion?
Yeah, and we could end up with one of them
Been
spring.
a lamb, so I'm ready for the lion.
Yeah, we could end up with one of them winters that don't do nothing until about March, and then it just stays for the whole month of March when it should be getting warmer.
Yeah, we usually don't get snow around here, good snow or any snow, until about middle of January, February,
Yeah. Well,
and
John, it's unusual.
sometimes we
You
get
not
pretty
having
good
any
snow
yet.
for them.
John, you not
We
getting
haven't
snow
had
yet.
any snow either.
That's really unusual. Y'all usually get it by December, don't you?
Who's that?
Curtis is going back to bed. Ah, okay,
I
cool,
picked
Curtis.
there.
No worries, buddy. No worries. I actually got, well, no, I didn't. I think I went to bed a little after midnight last night, and then I forget what happened, little guy or something, but I was up at 1 doing something. I can't remember what it was, but it was like, dude, you got 3 hours to sleep.
I had these two knuckleheads keep me up last night.
2 knuckleheads?
Yeah, two of them.
Who's that?
Huh?
Who was the knuckleheads?
There was that one that kept shouting out your show last night, and then the other one who
Oh,
likes
okay.
macaroni and cheese.
Yeah, but that wasn't late. That was 8 o'clock.
I got to go
Yeah,
make some.
but they're just like the afternets as I
Yeah,
call it.
yeah, yeah. But then again, if you got a good morning, Uncle Lou, if you got to get up early, then yeah, 8 o'clock's late. I remember those days. But I got to take Dad to the doctor today at, I think 1 o'clock, and I had to laugh. I couldn't take him. He was supposed to go Wednesday, and I couldn't take him. He was just having too bad of a day. And I called the doctor's office, and I'm talking to him. I tell him this, and I said, I forget the doctor's name, but we use his first name. Mom's been going there since the guy opened the place. And I said, well, he said that anytime Dad needs to come in, to call and just bring him in at any time, and he'd make sure he got in. Because she was telling me like next Monday or something, and I'm like, no, he's got to refill his pain pump. It's got to be done by Friday. And she said, well, I got a 10 o'clock. This was Wednesday. She got a 10 o'clock in the morning. I said, well, I can't do mornings. There's no way he gets up by 10 and I get him there. I said, if she said, well, I'll hold the 10 a.m. and I'll go talk to Jason and see what he says about coming in Friday later in the day. And she called me back. She said, yeah, he said it'd be fine coming in at 1 p.m. on Friday. I said, ma'am, I told you what he told me to tell you. He told me that 2 months ago. Anytime he needs to come in there, he'll get him in because he's got cancer, you know. And
Morning, Bobcat.
she
Morning, Uncle Willie.
evidently thought I was lying to her or something. I said, well, you just go talk to him and ask him if he did not say that, and ask him if it's okay to bring him in sometime Friday afternoon. Sometimes the scheduling people won't go out of their way to try and help you. You know, they'll just do whatever. You know, well, this was what I got. No, man, you have to work a little harder with a guy like me. Bob Kitty. Was that Bobcat? Hey, Bobcat, how you doing, man? I need to get with you here. Oh, probably springtime about making a new logo. I'll get with you. I'm out of stickers too, but I figure if I'm going to get new stickers, I want to get a new logo also. Hey, Eric, what, you work in a prison or something? There's a lot of gates there to go through.
A lot of money in that warehouse. I mean, you gotta protect it somehow.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Tires ain't cheap.
Yeah, no kidding. Me and my dad arguing. This is the way he used to think, and it'd make me so crazy. He had a front wheel drive vehicle, right? And he never rotates his tires. But he'd say, well, I'll just buy two and I'll move the back ones up to the front because they aren't worn that well and put the new ones on the back, or vice versa, something like that. I'm like, really? Really? That's what you, and I'm like, you know, if you rotate those, they'll all four wear the same and you just buy four at a time. And he's one of them guys that will go in and buy whatever's on sale too. Drives me crazy. You know, there's just certain things you don't skimp on. You know, for me,
Yeah.
on a motorcycle, especially not counting dirt bikes, on a road motorcycle, I look at it this way: when you're riding that bike on the highway, the only place you're in contact with the planet Earth is at the two little patches of tire on the ground. Would you skimp on something like that? I wouldn't. I want the best tires I can get.
Yeah, you know, that's the only tire that we don't sell is motorcycle tires.
Yeah. Now on dirt bike tires, it's different. I mean, I'm real picky about them. There was a certain kind of front tire I'd wear and a certain kind of back tire I'd run. And you know how a brand new tire has got them real sharp square edges? Well, as soon as that edge got rounded a little bit, not well, yeah, just a little bit actually. As that sharp edge was gone, that tire's done. I'm getting another one
Morning,
because
Stuart.
the tires I would take off, I would give to this kid because he considered them new. I'm like, nah, man. Once that square edge wears off, it doesn't pull as effective as it did, you know. And if you're racing, you don't have confidence in it, you won't push it to its limit, so to speak. Hey, there are more people in here. Let's see it here. This little thing goes on the reel. Okay, goes over the bolt on my Abu reel, and then the little screw goes into the handle. I lost the screw. Anybody know where a guy can get them at?
I know that's something you'd have to ask Clearview Outdoors.
I was
Uh,
actually I was actually throwing it at Uncle Lou, but I wanted to include everybody.
yeah. Pull that reel up and look for the parts list for that size reel.
Yes. Yep.
And they just have that screw you can order.
Yep. I might do that. I'm anal enough that I would do something like that. Check eBay. Good call, Chad. You are the man.
Morning, American Banks.
That's against the law. Double yellow line, buddy.
You need 6 watt there. No, hold on. I missed it.
Your screw's been loose a long time, buddy.
I've had more than one. Oh, twist clips and the front clips. Oh, I don't. That's beyond me. I don't even know how to use a planer board.
Yeah. Parker said you can order from Abu. That's what I do when I need a part for a
Yeah.
reel. I'll go look up that reel. They should have a parts list you can order that.
Yeah, I think I'll do that. I'm anal enough that I want the right one in there. You know what I mean? So that's probably what I'll do today. That's a good call. I got the boxes for these reels somewhere with the schematic and the part numbers and stuff, but they're somewhere in the stuff in the garage that you can't walk through. Or it could be in the back of the Buick SUV or the back of my little Ford right now. Because we took everything out of the garage finally, and they literally have taken it apart, and it's already been moved. Mystic parts, did you say, Bob? Let me write that one down. Because I got to write everything down because I forget stuff.
Good morning, everybody in chat.
Mystic parts. Excellent. It's probably going to take me to some Dungeons and Dragons page, isn't it? Oh, goodness.
Going for breakfast, Tim. Curtis.
Oh, I forgot what I was looking for now. Yeah, I spent all evening yesterday tinkering with fishing rods. It was, taking the old rigs off and making new rigs and stuff like that. It's kind of relaxing. Okay, John, I will, man.
American Bank said when it gets a little warmer, we're gonna have to go. We're gonna have to go fishing again, bud.
I got you. I'm all about it, man. You ain't got to say it twice to me. I'm telling you.
I want to see you go carp fishing again. That when you're live on air, it's funny to watch.
Actually, that lake where I carp fished at all the time, that's the lake I was talking about that I'm going to take the fish locator to.
Yeah,
That's the one I was talking about. The guy that owned the bait shop there, he told me there are blues and flatheads in that reservoir. He owned the bait shop there on that reservoir for about 30 years. He showed
morning,
me.
JD.
Hey, JG, how are you, buddy? So now I know that they're in there, and it motivated me more to get the boat ready to take it out there.
Yeah,
Plus, my buddy brought his bass tracker over here and dropped it off and said, "Hey, man, just take that whenever you want." And I had to tell him, I ain't got nothing to haul it with. Little 4-cylinder
yeah.
Ford. God ain't going to
Margaret,
haul big bass
Margaret
boat.
said, to get your little screw, you can just go fishing with Chad and steal the parts you need from Chad's reels.
Hey, that's a good idea right there. I can get him distracted.
Now look, Chad, butterfly. Unscrew it right quick.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, look over there, Chad. J Dog may have one too. I'll text him today and see. Still one from Chad's Reels. I like that.
I've got two screws that fit in there, but I think by looking at your little piece, they'll be too short.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure this one's actually the piece that is the original one that comes with the reel. You know what I mean? Because it's got the little crown thing on it.
He said, try that and see if D don't beat you like a redhead stepchild.
Ooh, that's probably true. Come to think of it. Never mind. I forgot he's got guards on his boat, man. That throw me in no high river and watch me float away.
Yeah, see here, I got that. It'll be the screw right there. That'll fit in it. But once
Be
you put
close.
that piece on there, you're not going to get that in there.
Yeah. Well, see, it's recessed in the
Yeah.
hole is recessed. See it? That's a good view right there. You can see it's recessed, so the actual distance, the thing I can't hardly see it, but I could mic it and tell you what it is. It's real thin.
I just dropped that screw and it's gone.
There you go. That's probably what happened to that one, to be honest with you. Beat you like a redheaded stepchild. I'm sorry, D. I apologize, and I will do anything you ask me to if you'll let me go fishing with you one time in your new boat. Anything.
There it is.
Are they really, Parker? Huh. You know, I was checking out that is it PC Fun or whatever. Yeah, it's pretty close. I'm just gonna order one from Abu, so I got the actual original one. But I think it was PC Fun has that fishing rod that has one of them little long skinny batteries in it that the end lights up. I'm actually thinking about getting one of them because there's a lot of times my light goes out after so long and I don't have no way to charge it. But I could still fish if I had that, you know. You know, couldn't really do it if I was live, but I don't care about live anyway. Every time I go live, fish quit hitting. I swear, every time. So,
Parker said Mad Cat's coming out with some reels.
yeah, that's what he said. I know stand day, Sundays. For the half hour before it comes on, I'm there fishing and I catch, I don't know, probably a 6-pound carp. The second that camera comes on, didn't get a bite the whole time. And nine times out of 10, after the live is off, the fish hit again. I don't know what it is, but I swear I don't catch fish when it's live.
Yeah, Banks said every time, curse of the camera.
Yeah, I believe it. To be honest with you, I actually believe that. It oh crap, I had a brain freeze.
Yeah, Ugly Stick makes them, I think, Tim. I know Ugly Stick's got some at Catfish rods that they light up, put batteries in.
Ugly Stick makes one. I like Ugly Stick.
Yeah.
That's my 10-foot 2-piece Ugly Stick. One of my favorite rods. See, because I gotta have 2-piece rods because my SUV is so small. So
yeah, my son's got one of them light up rods. It's pretty nice at nighttime, man. It looks pretty good. I mean, it's lit up good.
It lights up the whole rod. Hey, dog, you need to post a link to where you get that at. That would be the ticket right there, man. But that Ugly Stick, I like it. It's a 2-piece. I got a Tangling with Cats also. That's the Bobcat actually turned me onto the company. But the Ugly Stick, I just happened to come across it. It was a 2-piece rod that because I can't, you know, when you go to rod shopping and you're in that situation where I can only have 2-piece rods, you automatically limit yourself at least 60% on the rod you can choose from.
Yeah, Parker said, Bugman, check out the fish bite lights. They clip to your rods. I see guys down the fish one things. They go throw them out.
I've had that happen. I got something
out there, lights up.
You know, John, I got too big a belly for a 2-piece. I'm a 1-piece guy. Okay. Or else I'm going to the nudie beach where they don't discriminate.
That's how it is, Bank. Sometimes that's how it is.
Yep, an hour after the camera's off. You see, a lot of the video clips that I posted of the carp, I have the camera sitting there, and once I catch fish, I get it hooked, I run back, kick the camera on, and I go out there and catch the fish and bring it in. I don't have it on while I'm fishing because I don't catch anything. Let's see. I don't know, man. I don't catch any fish when that happens.
Yeah. Danny Stone said he's driving and listening, Bugman.
Danny, good morning, buddy. You're welcome to come up if you want. Just say the word.
Yeah, I've been out there times just shooting video footage, fishing, trying to catch a good takedown and whatever. And nothing for 2 hours. Turn that dude off and just sit there and let it pause. And all of a sudden that pole yanks down. I was like, oh, I missed that one.
Yep. You know who I miss? The kid that had to move out west that fished over with Haz and all them guys, the fishing magician or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that guy always had great videos. He was innovative. He was kind of ahead of the curve on the cameras underwater and stuff. I always thought that was pretty cool. His stuff, I always liked his stuff. I thought it was cool.
Yeah. Morning, Rhonda. For Whiskas. Chad said he's still doing videos. Yeah, he's been going live here quite a bit, or not live, but having premiered.
Yeah. I just hadn't. I don't. Well, for one, I never get alerts. I don't know about y'all, but I don't know what's up with that. I went through and unfollowed, refollow, or resubscribed, or redone the bell and everything, and the only alerts I get is like if you post a thing and said I'm going to go live tomorrow at 5 or whatever, and I click notify me, I
Yeah.
get those, but I don't get any of the other ones. I mean, it's hard telling how many good videos I miss. You know what I mean? And for the life of me, I don't know why it's like that. Where did it?
Be alert. The world needs more alerts.
Well, I'm just handicapped, man. That's what it
You
is.
watch those lives they had when Ted was down there with John?
Yeah,
I
no,
watched some of that. It's pretty cool.
the crappie fishing one, or you talking
When I
about?
was sitting there at the house and stuff, and then I seen the one videos where they was out fishing and stuff like that. Like that's pretty cool.
I've only seen one live where he had people with him, and it was the guy and that had the boy and the girl with him last week.
Yeah, that's Ted off the hooks.
Be alert! The world needs more alerts. I like that. Fishing for whiskers. Good morning to you. A great start to 2024. Yeah, it's been all right this week.
Bug, check your YouTube settings and make sure your overall notifications are turned on. Does not matter how many bells you tell.
Yep,
Oh, if that is off, you will not get them.
that is a good call right there, man.
Yep, he was on there Friday Night Live. I think I watched that one. I try to catch all of them because you go in there and the small water John's Live, man. It's usually like wind up laughing your butt off.
There it was. Subscriptions notified me about activity from channels I subscribed to. It was off. Good call, man. Thanks. That's
There
what
you
it
go.
was. Yeah. Now it'll be interesting. I'll probably get so many notifications I'll get mad and shut it off again and not remember doing it. That was it,
Ding,
man. Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate that.
ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, exactly. What are you seeing? I'm telling you, I got brain damage all them years dirt bike racing and hitting my head. And I pay the piper now. And I used to get in trouble with my girlfriend because she'd say wasn't paying attention. I said, it has nothing to do with paying attention. I got brain damage from 3 or 4 solid diagnosed concussions. I even had tests at the VA, where I don't know, the one test was like an hour long of memory stuff with cards and crap like that, and they done a CT scan stuff where with, you know, concussion stuff, they don't know that much about it anyway. The brain itself. Hey Eric, they've been putting the calcium down there. You guys gonna get some snow? It looks like it's what them white strips are in the road
Yeah,
there. The calcium they put down to makes the salt work better, I
yeah. He
guess.
said they're supposed to get some tonight. They're calling for it.
And I was watching the weather, and they said something about north of Interstate 70 would be snow, and south of there would be freezing rain and snow. Well, I'm 22 or 3 miles north of 70. So a lot of times I fall right in the line where you get a mixture of both.
Yeah, they're. I think tonight we're supposed to get some snow mixed rain or something like that. Hey, Murillo, good morning. I always tell Christian that this is a normal version of me now. Maybe before I could hear better, but not now.
Yep. Yep. This is a normal version. Good
Oh,
one,
shit,
Mike.
that is crazy.
Well, I've got the point now where if I meet a girl or something, I warn her ahead of time. Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now, I've got memory problems. And if you tell me something and I forget it, don't think it's because I didn't want to. I'm telling you right now, I have memory issues. And then I show them my little notepads I have with all these notes on them because Like Bobcat telling me about the mystic parts thing. I wrote that down because there's no way 10 minutes later I remember that name. I actually had to look down at it right there. So I warned him ahead of time. I said, because if you're going to get mad because I forget stuff, then probably shouldn't hang out, I don't suppose.
Well, Murillo, I've been going to the doctors, getting MRIs, or X-rays on the shoulders, trying to get this surgery set up. And finally got a date. Hopefully, I can get it fixed. Had one doctor tell me there's no way to fix them two broken tendons, and then the main surgeon told me that he can fix them. So we'll see how it goes.
It's kind of funny how one doctor can't do it and another one can.
Well, I kept asking when I raised my arm up, it's about as high as I can go with it. I can turn it like this, but that's about as high as I can go with it. And I said, if I go any higher than that, it pops. What's that? Is that bone spurs? He said, no, that's tendons popping.
And it popping over the bone.
Yeah. And then I got that tear in the rotor cuff right there. So.
And it clicks too when you move your arm.
Yeah. Well, the tear in the rotor cuff is why I can't raise my arm up that high. And if I go any higher than that, it's painful.
Yeah. Here's which milk and bread are on our shelves. Do not try to find eggs. They were sold out. No,
really?
On the shelf. Huh. Eggs. That reminds me, I got to boil me some eggs up. I like boiled eggs, man, because they're in there. They're easy. If I'm hungry, I just get one, and you get some protein and stuff out of them. And it's a quick munch instead of having to fix something.
I'm glad I got some eggs. I got two 18 packs in my refrigerator.
Yep, I got one. I need to stop and get two today to boil up some eggs. I like boiled eggs. They're easy and fast.
Yeah, we got a lot of houses around here. They lay eggs, so.
Murillo's coming down there, John. Nice.
He gonna go to Mission.
Oh, that's a shame you're gonna corrupt such a nice guy, man. Murillo's good people.
He may never be the same.
That's what John said. He may never be the same, and I agree.
I didn't know John was a manager, or Tim was a manager at a grocery store. I know he's a manager of something.
Yeah, I know. A couple of buddies of mine were in night stock while they were going to college. They worked night stock at the grocery store.
Yeah. See, Bugman, this year I'm having this one here done. Next year, this shoulder here is going to get done.
Yeah, that's how I done it. I had to have this one done because it was tore up so bad after the second crash. And then this one here, it just slowly over time got bad to the point it was keeping me up at night. And that's because
I think mine is over here. I don't think I have any broke tendons on this one because I can raise this one up, but it hurt right in where the rotor cuff is. So I'm hoping it's just a tear right there.
Yeah. That's true.
What John is saying is that
you all out fishing together. You're gonna have to do some lives. I mean, that's a given. That will be bar none, 100% classic. I guarantee it. John doesn't turn anyone down. He may charge more, but he ain't gonna turn you down.
I want to know if John, when you sit out there and you got your poles out around the pontoon there, they're just hanging down to get crappie. Do you ever cast out and slowly reel in for crappie?
Well, see, that's what if I was to go down there, I'd tell you, dude, let's just go out and take a couple rods with a bobber and some minnows and just sit around and cast out and catch some crappie and hang out. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to catch a whole bunch. I don't know how many crappie he threw in the cooler that one night, but there was a bunch of them. And I'm thinking, now who's going to clean all them fish? I don't care what you say, cleaning fish ain't the funnest thing you do in the fishing experience.
Yeah. No need with poles. You got your hands full.
Dog. So you're the overnight manager. You take care of the night stock guys, huh? I bet they're fun. They were with my buddies because they'd get off work and we'd always meet at the park and play basketball at like 3 a.m. And the first 2 or 3 times.
Water cutters don't be corrupting my sweet little Lauren now. Yeah, I was wondering. I've watched him out there fishing, and you can see the weeds and stuff out in the water in the front.
Yeah,
And he's hanging down back here on this side of it. I
just
wonder if they ever took just a jig or a slip floater, and throw down there and slowly moved it down the side to get them big ones to strike them.
you see, and I don't want to have to reel that much. I want to cast my bobber with my minnow out, let it go down, and I want to sit there and maybe talk a little bit, and every 2 or 3, 4, 5 minutes, bam. So there we
Let
go.
that 5 horsepower minute do the work.
Yeah, John, most people who do it after a while they get fast, but I just don't do it enough. It's my problem. And then Dad bought one of them electric knives for doing it, but those there, if you slip, you lose a lot of meat. But once you get good with it, it works real well.
Yeah, that's what I use. It lets your flame now.
Yeah.
Flip it
And
over, throw it
I
over.
just loaded it in the car the other day when we were cleaning the garage out because it works if you know, especially on bigger fish. With
Gotcha.
bluegill, I have to use a small fillet knife.
He said we jig some, but running chars is easier to drown minnows.
Yeah,
Well, I
for
got you. I
sure.
got you.
A jig and a bobber with a little twitch works. You know, I was watching oh, what's his name comes on later and ties the flies, and I've never fished for bluegill with artificial bait. I thought about like a fly or something, and I thought about trying that maybe. We've always used crickets, but the last couple times we went, the crickets are only about that big. And I asked the guy at the bait shop, I said, what in the heck is up with these little bitty crickets? I said, you can't even get them on the hook. Well, they live longer, he said. I said,
Yeah.
I don't care. I want big crickets, and so I stopped going and buying them from this guy. Not that it hurt him because I don't go that often anyway, but they live longer. And
Yeah,
I'm not making this
I
up when
got
I say you can't get them on. It looks like pops up. I'll be right back.
uh yeah, Tim, I got some videos where I was crop fishing early this spring where I got a slip floater on there with a jig, and you can see me. You see that floater move bouncing like that, making that jig do that, and man, they would nail it. I mean, you wouldn't even see my arm move. If I had that pole from me, you couldn't see it. You would think like, how's that thing bouncing when I'm just sitting there slowly reeling as I'm doing it. I like to fish like that in springtime for big crappie. And there's one spot on the lake I go every year to try to catch that spawn. Wind up catching a bunch of big crappie off the bank right there. Eric's booking down the highway. Sun's starting to come up. Morning traffic's getting going. Well, your water's responding now. Wow, lake spawn. See up here, you can catch during the spring, you can catch some big ones off the banks or start trying to come in the bank. And then there's this one spot on Wapello up there that you can go fish around the first week of July, and you'll catch them in shallower water, and there'll be big females up there full of eggs, like they're trying to go into a second spawn. Yep, 3 twitches. Let it sit for a second. Not me. I sat there and I constantly make that slip floater bounce like that, making that jig do this all the way in. And man, just you have to go watch the videos I got, man. When you sit there, you see it bouncing, and all of a sudden, yep, it's gone. Our water has to cool off of crappie and bass to spawn, so it's in winter. Yeah, but your winters are like springtime for us. Boy, they're moving now. Oh yeah, either way. I mean, sometimes you have to make it go pop, pop, let it set, pop, 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 yep, it's gone. Hey, morning, Keith. What's up, Doc? Hope your morning's good. wood, 102 in the summer. That's hot. No wonder y'all fishing so close to them weeds and stuff. They're all up under there. The shade. Yeah, Mr. Keith, Doc Reed in the house. Sound like the wife's taking a shower. It's in the low 70s right now. That's good because what they spawn, when the water gets about between 55 and 60, somewhere around there, they try to move up, try to spawn. Ours gets about 60 degrees, where it maintains low 50s in the night and 60 during the day. That we know that's prime time. Spawn 70 here, never gets that cold. Wow. Ooh, Keith said, Doc said it's starting to snow in southwest Missouri. Yeah, more than likely. Hey, morning, Shirley. More likely it's going to come out southwest and start moving up towards northeast. Miss us. Is it coming down pretty good or just lightly snowing? However it is, be safe up there driving. Remember, folks, you got a light in, back end truck. Go use some bricks back here, some blocks back here or something. Get some weight on. Pretty good. Wow. Our snow comes in cones and blizzards from Dairy Queen. Yeah. Yep. I've come across, head to southeast Missouri this afternoon. Ah, we're at southeast Missouri. Yeah, I've done that. Even on the spawn when they're on beds, man, they don't want to move. Just go down through there and twitch it. Let it set for a little while. Twitch it. Let it set for a little while. Twitch it. Sets about 3 or 4 seconds and bam, they hit it because they wait for it to move again. And they can't stand that. But I've had to let them twitch and let it set for up to a minute or so. They didn't caught me with that pre-twitch move. I grew up in Van Buren, Missouri. Yep. Remember you telling me that one time. Been there a bunch of times. Been through there a bunch of times. However it may go, y'all stay warm, man, because it is cold out there. I'm telling you, John, it works. I went up there to the lake one time. It was so foggy, you couldn't see like 4 foot out in the water, and you couldn't see nothing but a wall of fog. You throw out there into it, you had to really feel for it. You had to just barely make that floater move. And then it sits there forever, and all of a sudden you feel a tug on the line.
Rustic, I appreciate that. Standing there talking.
Now they hear you. They're tired of hearing me talk.
Yeah, it's all right. You're good. I appreciate it. I can look under Dad's door and see the light where he goes in the bathroom, and I know he's up. And so I called him before he got back in bed. Like,
Yeah.
hey, hold on a minute. We got to do some medicine here. We
Yeah.
ain't good.
Our bass on our lake, John, don't get real big, but I have caught 2 or 3 5-pound bass out of that lake. I release them. I don't keep none of them. But it's rare to me go bass fishing anymore these days.
You know, John, I think I will come down there and bass fish once. I've never done it, but the picture's the one you guys catch down there at Donkey Land or whatever. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
they got
do that
big
one.
bass, giant. They got giant bass down there.
Yeah. I mean, I'd
Here,
probably take one home to mount, to be honest with you.
you hook a fish here, they think a gator has them fight for their life. I'm bad.
That makes sense, actually.
I'd
Hi,
love to
Shirley.
get
I
down there
didn't
and
see you come
go
in.
out with him just to
See
go
you.
peacock bass fishing.
Let's see who else I missed. Hi, Shirley. I didn't see you. I was in there helping Pop. Doc, good to see you. I think you came in while I was there too. Let me scroll up and make sure. If I missed you and you come in while I was helping Pop, hey, good morning. Oh, Duncan Lane's catch and release. All right, well, we ain't gonna keep my bull gun. Get me a big one in Okeechobee then. I would. I mean, if I caught a big enough bass, I would bring it home and have it mounted. Just as you know, I've never mounted a fish before.
Yeah.
But I've never caught a big bass, and I think bass are the only fish that actually look real cool when they're mounted. You know what I mean, with their big mouth open and everything.
Uncle Lou said, "Morning, Doc."
How far you got to go today, Eric? Are you on the interstate? Oh,
Yeah,
he's muted because he's driving. I think. Let's see.
yeah, he's on the interstate.
I got control.
He's
Can't
been on.
mute your
He's
guest.
been on a while, so he must got to go out pretty good ways.
Ah, okay. I can't unmute him because he's a knucklehead.
Can't keep a big one on Okeechobee either. Florida knows big bass equal money. Most catch and release.
Really?
Yeah, catfish lucky.
Well, we're gonna have to go somewhere I can catch a bass and bring it home.
Oh, get one mounted, one of the big ones.
Yeah, for else I'm coming down there and drinking, and we're gonna catch crappie. I don't drink often, but when I drink hard.
You
Yeah,
got a 10-pounder, 10-pound bass right there on the wall.
yeah, something like that. 5 under 14 inches on chubby. Well, I need a short, fat one like myself then.
Uncle Lou said T not liking.
Okay, there's people in there now. Probably wasn't in there earlier when I had to talk about what I was wanting to talk about today. The IU School of Medicine has a thing called the Anatomical Education Program.
Yeah.
And what it is, when you die, you can donate your body to them to be used at the medical school. When they get done doing everything, they cremate your body and they'll either send it back to you or entomb it or whatever it's called in the big graveyard in Indianapolis or whatever. And my mom and dad want me to do that. I was just wondering how other people feel about it. I don't see any problem with it because I think your spirit leaves the shell of your body. It ain't worth anything anyway. It's going back to ashes anyhow. I didn't know if anybody had any opinions on that or not. I think it's a great program myself. For one, it keeps you from having to pay the $3,500 to $4,000 for a cremation, which is ridiculous. You know, it's like, I don't understand that much money just to burn a body up. Because, I mean, everybody I know these days gets cremated. Grandma did. Grandpa did. Which is good because up or down in Kentucky at the graveyard there on our family land, you talk about a hard place to dig a grave, boy. You better bring the jackhammers and everything because it's rock. I mean, it can be done, but then because the great grandma and grandpa and them, they're all buried there, and it's usually the oldest son in each family goes down and digs the grave. The oldest son for like. Grandpa, for instance, his oldest great grandpa, his oldest son, and throughout all his kids' oldest sons had to go up and dig the grave. It's kind of a tradition thing or something. But we getting cremated. I'm planning on getting cremated, which I wouldn't have to. I can go through the VA and do everything.
I told my wife, have me cremated have the kids put me up somewhere, and when you pass away, put me in there with you, so I have somebody to talk to.
Yep, exactly. I like that. Where actually, I got a deal with my best friend I raced dirt bikes with for 30 years. And there's one race that we done together for years, and it's my favorite race. The trail's awesome. I love it. And I told him, I said, dude, if I die for you, I want you to take my ashes and put them in a Folgers coffee can or whatever, they're plastic now, but punch a bunch of holes in it. And I want you to ride the Upland Enduro to sprinkle me on the trails. That's where I want to be put when I'm done. It's all said and done. That's
Yeah.
the one race I was talking about earlier that he said he wanted to try and get and ride in shape enough to do this year. It's not till October, so we got all year to get ready. They do, don't they, John? I agree 100%, man. And I know they're probably, most of them are probably hurting these days because the average person found out, hey, I can get them cremated and keep them at home. So my whole funeral expense is $4,000 because they got some crazy high fees on. I forget when my brother died, I forget what his wife paid for his funeral and everything. It was over $25,000.
John said to
In the
sleep.
corner of the yard, let the buzzards handle it. I like it, John.
I know I told my kids if something ever happens to me having cremated, or my son, me and him deer hunted at, I said, spread some ashes there and I'll be there to watch over you. Then go out in the boat and just open it up and scatter it on the lake. And
Yep.
way when you're out there fishing, I'm there with you.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that with Pops. I'm gonna take him to Shacamac where we go bluegill fishing all our life.
Buzz has cleaned up a big
Put
board.
him in there, either there or the Ohio River too, probably half and half. And I'll take part of Mom go to the Ohio River too. She loved the river. Cleaned up. They did. They cleaned up in 2 days. Did he butcher any of it or take any of it with him?
No, he said buzzards.
Yeah, I figured you'd maybe at least cut some ham out of there or something. So I
Then
wonder,
let's have the rest.
what it tastes like. The difference in the ham between a wild hog and a domestic hog. For one, you ain't getting all the antibiotics and crap that kills you and gives you cancer.
Yeah.
Okay, they cleaned up the carcass. All right, so he did cut some up and take it with him. I like that. I would have.
Well, domestic hogs, say like you put a pen up in your backyard and you feed it corn and pig feed, the taste will be different because a wild hog has got like a deer. It's got a wild taste. It's not being grass fed.
Yep. Hey, dog, are you talking about the Indy 500 track, buddy? I've been there many times.
It's about cornfed.
Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah, we used to go to opening day of time trials all the time, dog. Back when it was cart, when it when it actually meant something. You know, dog, I'll give them credit though. The way they got qualifying now, where the top 10 the first Saturday, the top 10 from Saturday get to qualify for the pole on Sunday. I like that. It's pretty exciting if you ever watch it because it gets down to what they call happy hour and they go out and make their run.
Yeah.
In fact, I forget his name got bumped last year. By
4922, he said, Buggy, your screen has got two blurs on
it. Two blurs. I'm one of them.
Nice. Well, how about being there?
I was having a cigarette, so I wasn't gonna smoke in front of everybody because I guess people don't do that. So I'll play along. There we go.
He says your screen's got two blurs on.
Maybe you ought to use your settings and put it on 1080 instead of 420 or whatever it puts you on automatically. But yeah, the Indy 500, man, if you've never been to that track, it's worth just qualifying or even during the week to the practice during the week where it's not real crowded. You can park on the infield there, and you don't have to walk real far. And if you've never been there, it's worth going to see one time. I've never been to the race, but the opening day of qualifying. See, years ago on the opening day of qualifying, back when they would have 40 cars trying to make the field, the opening day of qualifying, the pole was determined. So we would go on the opening day. I mean, there'd be 100,000 people on opening day of qualifying there. And it was exciting. You know, we'd get there. One year we took 10 cases of beer, I think, with 6 of us. And get there at 6 in the morning, wait for the gate to open.
Yeah.
It,
Morning, double hook.
if you've never seen the track, it's worth, if you're coming through here on, say, Interstate 70 going east and west, you're within 5 miles of that track when you're going past downtown Indy. And if you get the chance, just get off the interstate and drive around the track. You around Georgetown 16th, you can go around 3/4 of that track almost and jump right back on the interstate. It's kind of like going up by Green Bay and driving past Lambeau and not getting off the interstate and at least going in the parking lot. You know, what the heck is wrong with you?
Small one started, I agree, wasn't a big fan of those buzz boxes. You can't see, go around and Good morning, Frank.
Yeah, but Indy is a different beast, man. It's a beast all of its own. Like I said, if you ever get a chance to go and just watch the cars do practice or qualifying when it's not super crowded, you can park close. It's worth doing once in a lifetime because it's such a massive place. And I mean, you can see downtown Indy from it, you know, because back when they built it years ago, it was out in the country, you know, and Indy grew up around it, so it's still close to downtown. I praised a couple houses around there, and people, if they live in the neighborhood right across Georgetown, Georgetown Road, like a neighborhood of small ranch houses, you know, factory houses, what I always call them. But those people there will charge people to park on qualifying and on race weekend. Well, a lot of them have people that park there every year for generations of people. And, you know, they get to know these people and they charge them to park. And then eventually, if they get to know them well enough, they let them camp in the backyard or whatever. And they make, I mean, when NASCAR came, they had 4 weekends and I'm talking like $100 and some per car to park in the yard. Where you live at, dog? I had a guy I surfed with up in Wisconsin that him and his family have been going to the race for I don't know how many years. They go down every year and camp in the Coke Lot, which is a big grass field. And it used to be a pretty wild place. Dad
And
and
my bacon's been laying out for an hour and it's still frozen.
what's that? Your bacon? Ah.
Morning, Kelly.
Kelly, did you take a bath today? Well, I better check my watch. I might be due. Oh, it's getting daylight behind me. Let's take a look.
Morning, David Smith.
See what kind of day we're going to have today. Yeah, it looks like we're probably going to have clouds. That figures.
John said, Bug keeps saying he has surfed. I got 20 says he can't even float.
I got you, John. I've surfed in the Pacific, the Atlantic, and 3 of the Great Lakes. Yep. You know, surfing was one of them things growing up in Indiana I never thought I'd get to do. But when I was a kid, I raced dirt bikes, and nobody I knew in my elementary or junior high school done it. I was like the only kid. And I always would see surfing and think, man, I got to do that someday. And when I moved over by Indy in Noblesville, there was this little theater on the south end of Indy that played independent movies. And there was a little like underground newspaper thing that advertised, you know, and had off the wall underground stories, you know. And it had an ad. It always had the ad that what movies was playing at this theater. And I seen one time, and the movie was called Step into Liquid, and it was a surfing movie. And I was like, "Oh, get out of here! I'll drive down there and go see that." So I
Good
go
morning,
down
Mr. Brady.
and I watched that movie. And the very last segment of the movie is about this bunch of guys in Sheboygan, Wisconsin, that's been surfing on the Great Lakes since the '60s. I was blown away. I was like, "You got to be kidding me!" I drove by there a bunch of times.
Donald Knight said, I go every year for the BC 39. It's a 1/4 mile dirt track in turn 3 infield.
Where's it at? I know I'm not too far from Eldora. I've been there a few times. But I go see that movie and I come home and Google, this would have been in 99 probably. And, you know, that's where message boards and stuff just started taking off and everything. But I Googled Great Lake Surfing, and sure enough, there's an organization called the Great Lake Surfing Association. And when I click on their webpage, it turns out the president of that association lives in Castleton, Indiana, which is a part of Indy. And he grew up in San Diego, and he shaped surfboards. I was like, so I actually looked the guy up, got his phone number, and called him, and told him, said, you know, I'd like to do that. I've always wanted to, and I want you to shape me a surfboard. And he's like, don't you think you'll try it first? I was like, nope. One of the things I always knew I was going to do in life, and I want a surfboard. How much is it? And he's like, $900. It's like, okay. How much money you need down to get started? And 2 weeks later, I had a surfboard in my hands. I got pictures of the first time I went. And
Jones said, not to make you feel bad, but that was the year I was born, 99. This is American Banks, by the way.
You kidding me? Yeah, you're making me feel old. But anyway, I spent 2 years like going surfing. And I still got my surfboard. They're in my storage building. And
Fresno!
One of my favorite people in the catfishing community right there. One of these days when I travel again, I'll go surfing.
Really? I thought it was John Orr.
I like them all. I like all the abstract, out of the way guys that you see every now and then. But I actually was in a class, an income capitalization class in Southern Indiana, and I mentioned surfing. And this lady said, and she says, you know what? My husband died. I got this surfboard in our barn. You can have it if you want it. And I was like, okay. I said, after we do our finals, I said, I'll just follow you home and pick it up. And I had no idea what she's talking about, you know. So I get there, and there's this 9'6" monstrosity of a board covered in some blue marine paint or something. But where the logo is on the center of it was the logo for Surfboards Hawaii. And he had bought it in Cocoa Beach in like 1975 or something. So I brought it home, and I had probably 85 hours in hand sanding all that blue stuff off of it to get it back to the original board. And it was a 1968 Surfboards Hawaii surfboard that was a Cocoa Beach pro longboarder from back then that rode for them. And I don't know what it's worth. It's in my storage too. I keep it in a surfboard bag. Last I checked, it was worth about $1,200.
Yeah.
And I'm torn between selling it or letting my son have it. Did I miss something here? Hold on. Okay, that's my surfboard. Hey, Austin, how you doing, man? I better catch back up on people that come in, or I'm not a good host. Austin Jones, good morning to you.
Dave B.
Fred, I don't think I missed anybody else, did I? Nope. Hey, Catfish Dog, I'm sorry, man. I asked you where you lived since the interstate from you runs right by Indy, or vice versa. If you said and I didn't see it, I apologize. DHA, how you doing, buddy? We'll be on till 9 or a little before 9 when you get ready to kick on, brother.
If you have anything that is worth 12 catfish rods, you know what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. You know, there's a kid that started a surfboard shop in New Buffalo, Michigan in 2001 thereabouts. It's called Third Coast Surf Shop. That's what they call the Great Lakes, the Third Coast. And
Yeah.
he said if I wanted to sell it to get with him because he wants to hang it up in his surfboard shop. I'll be 60 February 8th, so there I am a grandpa. And so if I sell it, that's who I'm going to sell it to. He's a good guy, young guy. He's cool. John, you better quit pushing my buttons. He could be
Yeah,
my
grandpa.
I could be your dad. You never know. And you better quit disrespecting your father. Hey, Donald.
He said, I take I-74 all the way.
Oh, they do, Don? I didn't know that. At the infield at Indianapolis, I gotta pull that up. Do they race? What do they race on weekends? Like Friday or Saturdays? Catfish fever ride. Catch the fever. Very cool.
You mean Big Cat Fever? That's the fever rods.
They got in turn 3, huh? Well, that's where they moved the turn 1 there. The party from turn 1 had moved out to turn 3, so they got a dirt track there now. Been there for 4 years. You think you'd hear about it. I don't live that far from here. You think the local news would do stories on it or something. I've never heard of it.
Huh.
Take I-74. Okay, yeah, you come over from Illinois. All right, then, yep. I've taken
One race a year. He said one race a year. It's called BC 39.
Really? Huh. So it's probably a big money paying race. Is it a bank track, or I suppose it's got to have some kind of banking? Nothing like Eldora or anything, or Winchester Speedway over here by us. It's a pretty famous big speedway.
I said, hi, Dave, hi, dog, hi, 922. Hello, Austin Jones. Tell me about these combos.
Yep, hook me up. The thing about fishing rods, though, is I only use 2 rods when I go, because I found if I have 3, it's always that third rod furthest away that gets hit, and I always miss getting there. But now I got the one thing I can use it on the third one now. But so we're allowed 3, I guess, in Indiana, but I've only used 2 usually. I got 2, and I got one on the right and left side, so they're easy to get to.
Yeah, I tried to fish from the bank with 4 rods. Man, I burned through the bait, and I was like, nah, I'll stick with 3.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know how, for like Jody and them run 10, 11 rods. Do you know how big of a mess I would have if I had that many fishing lines out at one time? I would have them all tangled up. I'd get mad enough to throw a rod in the water. I know me.
Oh, yeah, I know. I had a 6-rod rack on the back of my boat. I have all 6 rods out. And, man, you catch a fish, and he runs in 2 or 3 of them. Oh, it's a mess.
$1,200 combo. Huh.
He said it was a banked clay track.
I seen that. Yeah, about 100 cars. Is it? When do they run it? Once a year? Is it around race time? I would assume it's probably around the race time in May or something, then, isn't it?
922 said he's only allowed to use 3. Halftime, he only uses 2.
Yeah, yes. Like I said, I use 2 most of the time. That's it. That the ugly stick I got, and this is my favorite rod I got so far is the Tangling with Cats Whisker Whip. Like I said, what's his name? Bobcat turned me on to them.
Whisker Seekers.
It's a Tangling with Cats, and it's a Whisker Whip XL series.
Ah.
Yeah, I got that other rod I got's a Whisker Seekers. These are nice rods here, the Whisker Seekers. I like it, but like
I
I
think
said,
I
yeah,
think Fresno said that they only allow 2 rods in California. If they want a third rod, it's like $50.
you're kidding me. Well, sure, it's California. They're going to charge you to wear underwear out there, man.
Just about.
Yeah, why
Kentucky's
not?
unlimited rods and bank on boat.
Oh, I know, Kelly. It's crazy, and I'm directly north of you. Hi, Ashley Brady. Good morning.
Actually, I don't think I'll be using a bunch of rods considered fishing. 2's enough.
Two's all
I
I can.
always go this way. If I can't get it done with 9, I'll be lucky if I get done with 3.
Yep.
I'm just going to use 3. That's a lot of bait you got towed out there, man. But a lot of people do it. They enjoy it, I guess.
2 hands, 2 rods. That makes perfect sense. $82. Huh.
Good night.
Always 5 o'clock in Florida. I agree. Only state I seen with more drinkers than Florida is Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And that's
I
because
go fishing. When I go catfishing, I go out there just to kick back and relax. And man, especially when I'm on the bank or something, I just want to kick back and relax, throw out 3 rods and just let them go. If they get hit, man, you can imagine putting like 9 rods out. You're constantly. I'm like,
and that I'm like you. That's why I go out there to chill. I love to catch fish, but I'm not going to be upset if I don't.
yeah. I watched Kelly walk down the creek catching fish, throwing that jig out there, and pulling them out.
Oh, I got a good smallmouth river in the town I used to live in, 40 miles from here. A good smallmouth river.
Yeah, 922. I think I got a video on mine where I was channel catfishing and had 3 rods out, and man, all 3 of us doing this. Like, get one, and you have to get it up there, get another one, get one, get another one. I was like, oh my goodness. If I max out rods for my house alone, I could throw out 9, but there is no way that I can cover that much ground effectively. I
Yeah.
even go 6, and if I'm alone, I can only do 3 by law.
Yeah. Now that reservoir where I carp fish, if it's a good day, 2 rods is all I need because a lot of times I can't keep up.
Kelly said, warmer weather's coming. I need to go fishing.
Kelly, I'm so
I'll be here. It's not going to be warmer here. I think y'all going to get some snow tonight.
I think we are. I think they said Sunday on the weather. I gotta watch the weather again later. But yeah, we're supposed to get some snow, I think. It's 20 some degrees right now, so it don't matter. I'm like a grizzly bear. I'm hibernating. I mean, I had to contemplate whether I wanted to go out to the garage yesterday and get that fishing rod to put new line and stuff on it.
Really, it stinks. Those that do want 3 have to buy it with in the meeting Wednesday.
Supposed to go 5. I'm locked out of fishing for a while. Yeah, I'm with you, DH. It is, and I have to just accept what it is. Otherwise, I'd get upset because I don't get to go or so I know about the first time it starts snowing or I got a real heavy frost that I'm pretty much done. Yep. That much snow, I would DH. I wouldn't leave unless I had to.
No.
And that's the only thing that saves your sanity nowadays is things like this, where you can get online and talk to people, or you can watch some guys fish and stuff. Otherwise, I'd be going nuts, man. I don't know what I'd do. I'd be ready to climb a tower and start taking shots at people. I always used to tell my buddies when I worked at the cable company, I said, dude, if I ever call you and tell you to stay home today, it's probably a good idea. And they go, what do you mean? I said, because there's a good chance I'll be up on the tower out back here shooting people when they come in the morning.
Yeah. Like when it pertains to the fishing posts here in Missouri, on Mississippi, you're allowed 2. Anything over 2, you got to have a name, a conservation number on it, or your address. everywhere else in Missouri, unless it's posted, which is not rarely, you can have up to 3. Anything over 3, you have to have your name, conservation, or your address on it. And you're allowed up to 50 rods.
Four people working those poles and baiting and keeping them going. Yeah, I noticed that, John. Looked like you guys had a pretty good system going. It was nice to see that young lady catch that big crappie, one of the first ones caught the other night.
Yeah.
You ever notice? I always like it. It always seems like it's the little quiet girl who always ends up catching the biggest fish.
What are you calling me, a little quiet girl?
Yeah, you're the one. You're a fish stealer, man. I ain't talking to you. You're lucky I let you come up. Did y'all hear that story? I go fishing with him and J Dog and Curtis, and the first fish that gets on the line, he jumps up and grabs real quick, and it ended up being the biggest fish caught that day.
Yeah. Somewhere here in Uncle Lou, they don't hardly ever give you a ticket for that. They just tell you, make sure you got your name and address on them rods. And when you got brand new Mad Cats rods, it's kind of hard to take a black marker and ride on.
Yeah, no, I'll be like, sir, I'll hang a tag off the end of the handle or something, but I ain't riding on that rod.
Yeah, I'm trying to find me some copper strips about that wide.
Yeah.
And you know where the reel goes into the reel seat, it hangs out, especially on your mid spin cast. I want to, get one and stamp it in there, my name, conservation number, and wrap it around that.
Yeah.
So it'd be on there. And on the bait casters, you could put it around right where the reel seat's at, wrap it around that. That way, stay out of the way, but it's there.
Get you a labeler.
John, are you talking about the
that's good.
last crappie trip with the guy and his 2 kids? I ain't putting nothing on my fishing rods. I'll just tell them I got a fishing license. That's it.
Well, if you get a labeler, you can always peel it off. I mean,
yeah.
No.
I remember we had label makers at the cable company to label the wires when we run them, from like the receiver over to the transmitter and stuff and the head end.
Yeah, Uncle Lou, that's what they call trapping tags. They're copper, and you can bend them around.
Yep. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
You can do
I guess I'll just be happy with only able to use 3 rods, and I ain't got to mess with none of that crazy stuff, I reckon.
Small Water said Eric has a bedazzler.
He sure makes his abs look good. You ought to see his
we know
fishing
you have.
jacket.
Eric, he just want one real bad.
Did I have
Well, John's the one that sent it to me. That's how I got it.
he said you was extra.
Marilla said Uncle Lou has his name on every rod. Take that, suckers.
He does, doesn't he?
Yeah.
J-Dog's got a rod with his own name on it. He's like Uncle Lou's little stepson or something, man. He gets all the good stuff. Bedazzled fanny pack. Hey, now don't be getting on the fanny packs. Those come in handy now. Joe Rogan wears one. And I ain't gonna get in a fight with him.
Maybe a fanny pack. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Just put it on the end of the handle. I'll hang it off there with a toilet chain.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe it ain't so bad only able to use 3 rods and not have to mess with stuff like that. So I'm happy then.
Yeah, that's why I got my 3 bank rods. One of them's a Big Cat Fever rod, a Mad Cats, and a Team Catfish Thunder cat rod. That way I can put that on that big 12-footer Thundercat. I got it rode on there with black marker, but the other 2 I'm not writing on them.
Yeah. Well, I got that Uncle Lou spinning rod, and I'm going to bring it in. It's next after I get these out here. I ain't got so much room, but
Yeah.
I don't like the line. I put some braid on it, and I don't like the way it casts. So I'm going to put some different line on it. The reel, Murillo gave me a nice reel to go with that because I traded a couple PC Fun reels for that Uncle Lou spinning rod from Art at One Ton Fishing last year at the. I met him at CatCon and traded.
Yeah, I got some reels here that throws out braid like a champ, man. But it won't throw out mono very good. But I got some reels that you put braid on it, won't hardly throw it out, but it throws out mono great.
Well, this is a spinning reel, and I don't know. It just didn't seem like it. I didn't like the way it casted the line, so I'm gonna put mono on it. And let's
Yeah,
face it, where I'm fishing at here, I can put 20-pound line. I could put 15-pound line on and be fine fishing up here where I'm at. I'm not gonna catch anything bigger than that in any of these
yeah.
river lakes around here.
Well, it's like I had a Pinfish 3 6000. It was new, and I used it several times, man. And I had mono on it, braid on it. It's good reel, stout, very stout reel, smooth. And I gave it to Dominic. I said, man, I know you like these things. Uh, it looked brand new when I give it to him, and I said, man, I just not a, I just thought I'd like it, but I did.
Yeah, see, Uncle Lou, I'm like you. I watch them guys, especially. See, I don't think I could ever use planer boards and stuff because I know me, I would get them all tangled up. I just know how I am, and I'm clumsy like that, and I just literally lose my mind and start throwing stuff in the water. And I just can't see how, like Jody runs, 12 rods out there. I would have such a mess.
Yeah, same here, bro. I got reels all over that top right there, and I got reels all down the floor beside the shelf right here stacked up.
I got or I was fishing for carp, had 3 rods at that place, the lake I'm talking about, and I caught one carp, and in that fish I had to go under those 2 other rods and then come back and go back under them the other way to keep them from tangling up to get that fish in. And I'm like, I ain't gonna do this again. So I went to 2 rods and I spread them out far enough that hopefully I don't have to try and go underneath one or whatever.
I don't know, John. I troll and I set with 6 rods out in front of my boat for crappie. You latch onto a big crappie or a small one that likes to run, man, he'll tangle up 2 or 3 lines.
Yeah, I mean that, and I don't want the frustrations. I'm like you. When I go fishing, like catfishing, I want to sit there on the bank, throw my rods out, and if I catch fish, I'm stoked. If I don't, I'm still glad I'm there.
Yeah, don't
And
catfish, just relax, man.
yeah,
That's
well,
mainly catfish, just
last
relax.
2 times I went, I didn't even catch catfish. The one time I caught the walleye, and then the next time, which is the last time I went, I caught the sucker. Uh, and I'm telling you, the biggest sucker I ever seen. It was about that long, a sucker. It's on the video. I didn't even know they got that big.
Yep.
And I think Hooks and Hammock was like, hey, that's good bait, y'all, to keep it. And I'm like, I got nowhere to keep it, but I'm sure it is. But I
Yeah,
think
Uncle Luke's he's got a Carbon X 2000 by PC Fun, man. Can't wait to see that in action. I've been looking at one. I'm thinking about getting one. Use it for skipjack.
The rods, you say? Fishing rods or reels?
Real
Oh,
Carbon X 2000.
I'll have to check them out. Okay, 2000. Is it a low profile bait caster? It's not a round one, is it?
Kelly said, no, it's a spin cast.
Oh, okay.
Kelly said, I got a channel cat spot that you can only fish with one rod because you're catching one after another as soon as it's over the line in. Yeah, he said it's a smooth long cast reel. And
Huh.
that's what I need for the skipjack.
Yeah. I have to look those up. My dad has on his bluegill rod, he has a spinning reel, you know how you move the bar over to casserware. Well, this one has a trigger, and you reach down and put your finger under it, which it automatically puts your finger under the line, and you pull the
John.
trigger, and it opens the bell. It's a shake.
Yeah,
You ever seen them?
fast cast, yeah, speed
Uh,
cast, something like
it's the
that.
only one I ever. It's the only one I could find that's like that.
Man, I could, I, I got so used to using my finger, knowing just exactly when to release. I
Well,
bought one of those. I'll get
you
one of
do
those. And man, first time I throw it out there, I throw the pole out the lake. I
Well,
was like, come
you
out of
still
my
do
head.
that. All this trigger does is release the bell. You reach down and put your finger on the trigger. Okay. Well, as you pull the trigger up, it releases the bell, and you
Yeah,
don't
it's
hold
supposed to
the
hold
trigger.
full line.
You're just holding the line by then, and then you just cast regular. It's just automatically opens the bell for you. It doesn't. You release the line, everything like a. Instead of reaching down and opening the bell, you just pull the trigger and it opens the bell. And then
Yeah,
you have the
I bought
line
a
in your.
Shimano like that. And like I said, the first time I went to throw it out, it cut, it caught. When it did, the weight said, "Shoot!" The pole went with it. Like, oh God, where's my other pole? I got to catch it.
I got a channel cat spot that you can only fish with.
Uh, John said, Bugs Reels has a push button.
You throw the line in. How big are them channels there, Kelly? We need to see video.
Yeah, John, you ought to go back and watch one of Buggy's videos, man, where he's using them. Was that antique reels you had on it? Old reels.
Yeah, the one it's I forget. I got it. It comes in a case with 3 tips.
Yeah, I think he was carp fishing that day.
Yeah, and it's the uh, release is built into the top of the handle, and you push it down with your thumb and cast, and
Yeah,
yeah. Oh, what's the name of that? The only reason I bought it because my dad had one when I was a kid.
yeah, they were old reels.
Yep, what it is. It's an old rod.
Yeah, I got some old Johnson reels that I was used for a long time for my crappie poles. I got the small ones and I got a couple of big ones, and them things still work like brand new. I couldn't believe it.
John, speaking to 8mm film, I got 8mm film on my first dirt bike race ever. Yes, I do. 8mm. They've been transferred on to DVD.
Kelly said, Buggy, I did one. It has a huge bobber on the thumbnail.
Oh, cool. I'll look for it.
The biggest I caught out of it was 5 pounds so far.
That's cool. That 5 pound
Pound cat fight like crazy, man.
Fishing
And
video,
bull,
8mm. That's funny you said that, John. Yep. In fact, I got those DVDs, but I ain't never got to watch them. I ain't seen them in years. The videos of my first race, but the son of the guy who filmed them, who passed away, he sent me the DVDs. Yep.
Here's old Zepco 33, man. That thing works like a charm.
Yep.
Then I've got
I got one of them. I think I got 2 or 3 of those little.
I got its older brother. It's a 733.
Huh.
And they look rough, but man, both these throw out and work perfect.
I got
I'm gonna put them on a couple poles. I'm gonna make a video and use them.
what are those? I don't even know what you'd call them though, but they're reels like that. Only they got a trigger and they're for spinning rod. And
they're crappie reels. They're little crawlers.
Exactly.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, I've got
2 or 3 of them.
I've got one of them somewhere around here.
Chicken liver is the beta choice. Yeah,
I think it's out there in the building with all the other fishing stuff from the store. But we switched a lot of our reels at one time over to these right here. They're small crappie reels. And the little bait casters, small crappie reels. We got these
bait casters. I just got one to go on this little fishing rod I got. Yeah, it's a little bit.
They work great, but
it's my.
You let a big cat, you'll strip them, man. And so.
Hey Kelly, could you use night crawlers there instead of chicken liver? If there's that many channels, I would think night crawlers would work.
Not the chicken's choice.
Yeah, I would think night crawlers work. Chicken liver is so hard to cast unless you put one in little things or you use some of that little stretchy thread stuff. But I would assume if the channels are that thick that you'd be okay throwing night crawlers out.
I switched all my reels on my crappie poles on Timu. I've been winning these red and black bait casters from Segoy Lane, and for bass that you use for bass, I put every one of them on a crappie pole. I got 6 of them over, and they got uh, one on every pole. I said,
Well, the little crappie reel things, the only problem I had with them is the bead would hang up if you're using a slip bobber and you're fishing 20 feet deep or whatever, and the bead would hang up in them. But now I got those little beads that come with the little wire, and you put,
yeah, those rubber beads. Yep, that's the ones to use right there.
Yeah, I never seen them before, and I just happened to get some. I had no idea what they were, and I Googled them, and looked them up and seen how.
No, they're not Illuminati.
They're the ticket, aren't they? The Illuminati. Yes,
better,
they
but
are.
instead of fish, you just lob it out and it hit bottom.
That's where I got that little reel. That was on Timu. It was one of them. You're not sure what you're going to get when you order it, but it ended up coming out pretty cool. I mean, it's got everything on it the big bait caster has.
Yeah, that
I
one
haven't
there.
tested it yet. Don't get me wrong, but I will.
Yeah, that one there is this right here is just a crappie reel for crappie pole, and that one you got is just a little bit bigger than that one.
Well, and it's got it's almost like a miniature Abu.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's not as cool. It's got the trigger release here and the control,
Yeah, that's a good reel there.
and it's got the star drag thing or whatever. I haven't casted it yet, so that'll be the determining factor. To be honest with you,
Yeah, they said no, John, no, they're China spies.
they
That's TikTok.
and the rod. I was looking for the eagle claw in this little bitty rod.
Yeah,
we used to have one, and I couldn't find one, but this is a Bass Pro Shop, and it's the exact same rod. I guarantee they're made in the same place. There ain't no doubt in my mind. And I like the cork handle. That's why I like this little rod.
Yeah, I bought a 7-foot medium sun spear off the clearance rack for $7. I'm going to use it for my skipjack.
A big bluegill on that would be a lot of fun, I think.
All right, take it easy, Kelly.
Okay, Kelly, don't eat none of them cookies you're loading. Never mind, you don't, because I know I delivered Petrie farm cookies when I first got out of the Army, and eventually you get tired of eating them, so you just load them.
Well, Timu is a company that buys loads of stuff that's been wrecked or whatever, and they reload it, and they can't sell the stuff out of the load because there's damage. Some of it's damaged, and so they buy it in bulk. Then they turn around and resell it. But it is a China-based place, but I've never had no problems with it.
Nope, I got that reel from them, and I forget I ordered something else from them too. I can't remember what it is, and
yeah,
don't get me wrong, it's all cheap Chinese stuff, but for what I was needing it for, I can't remember what else I ordered now, but it was nothing.
Oh yeah, I won like 20 reels, bunch of stuff. It come up to about like $400 worth of gifts, stuff that I've won. I won just a little over $100 cash playing the cash game. So.
Oh yeah, I got these. That's what it was. I got these little floats from them for like next to nothing.
Yeah.
And I'm going to see how well they float because I'm going to use one of them.
Jong appreciates the business.
King Jong appreciates the business.
That's North Korea.
Yeah.
That's Kim Jong. Yeah. That's North Korea. That ain't China.
Yeah, Uncle Lou, I'm finding that the stuff I'm getting from them is faster than Amazon is now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got some gifts that said it cleared customs or whatever, but it'll be here like in 3 days, and I got some I have to wait a week.
Yeah.
And then it's like I'll win this one, and it takes a week to get it in, but I'll turn around a couple days later and win something else, and I get it before I got the first one I won because it's real close.
How do you win them? I mean, what are you doing that you win the stuff?
I play the 10 free gift deals, and it'll tell you new app users will let you win every bit of them, but you never win all 10 unless you get new app users. So you go up there, pick your gifts out, you share it all out and stuff, and it gives you when somebody clicks on it, it accepted your deal. You say that again, they have to click. If they click on it again, it gives you a referral, and that's how you win them on referrals.
Ah, okay.
I won a gift every day this week on that. You get to
Well, I
crack,
remember
you crack the egg, and when the egg cracks, it gives you one in
Brown
10
sent me a
gifts.
link one time, and I didn't know what it was, and I deleted it and texted him and told him, "Don't be sending me no scam links."
Yeah. Well, see, when you're
And he told
on
me
the
to go
10
on
free
the
gift
site and
deals,
check them out, and I never did until I was
yeah.
looking for that small reel.
Yeah. See, on the 10 free gift deals, after you get so many referrals, uh, it'll pop up, said you cracked an egg, it'll crack it like an Easter egg deal. And one of your 10 free gifts it's going to give you for free. And
Yep.
ship it out.
John, I agree with you. And that's what the thing about TikTok, I'll never use it. And the reason is they traced it, and I watched a congressional hearing on them. They traced the money they make from TikTok, a large percentage of it goes to help fund the Chinese military.
Yeah.
So by using TikTok, you're basically funding the people that someday are going to be shooting at your children. And I
Yeah.
just,
And
I just don't use it.
I seen that. And they also discussed that they're not looking at the people, they're looking in the background.
Yep. When you join TikTok, they literally mine the data from not only you but everyone you follow by going through your account.
Yep.
Yeah, the people don't understand. I
That's
understand they're
right,
making
Donald.
money and all this stuff and a lot of followers, but TikTok is a bad thing, and they're going to find out someday.
Well, I want some fishing pliers off there, and it surprised me when it came in. It was in a Chinese package, but it said "Made USA" on pliers.
Interesting. Interesting.
Well, that's from them buying that damaged stuff in bulk, and they're pulling out the good stuff and selling it.
Yeah.
That's why when they tell you there's only 6 left or 14 left, they have very many.
Because that was it. Is what was in that ball.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you, John.
Off my soapbox.
I'm with you 100%.
Stay on it, John. We like it when you're on it.
It's, and like Donald Knight says, I come from a factory town. My town had a Chevrolet factory, a Delco Remy factory, and a Borg Warner Gears factory that employed over 50,000 people total, and they're all gone. So I'm all about the Buy American, but sometimes it's hard to find.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, don't, and the bad part is I was going to business school, and one of the guys that was teaching the class I was in,
Eric and them got a good rock there, boy.
Was talking about NAFTA 5 years before it became a law. And he told us in that class, if you have anyone that works at a factory that you better tell them about NAFTA. He said, write it down, tell them that word, and tell them to get a hold of their union reps and get on this. And the guy's exact words are, because if you don't, their jobs won't be here in 10 years. He was 100% right. I told everybody I knew who worked in the factory, nobody wanted to hear it. My dad talked me out of working. I had a chance to go work at Chevrolet. Like, no, he said, don't do it. He said, you won't have a job or you'll have to move. 3 of my friends worked at Chevrolet. They live down in Kentucky now and work at the Corvette factory, which, don't get me wrong, great jobs, great benefits, and great money. But, I had, wife and kids and stuff like that. I wouldn't want to have to uproot and just move. But, yeah, they warned. I mean, I was warned about them and tried to warn all my buddies. Yeah, you go by. I mean, in fact, it's amazing to go by, because the Warner Gear factory on the west side of Muncie, Borg Warner Transmissions, and you're going down the highway, it starts, and I'll bet it goes almost 1.5 miles long is how long that factory was. They had little carts that went from one end to the other, like the parts or tool guy and stuff. Huge place, and employed thousands of people. Yeah, I'm with you, John. And the unions pay a lot of money into politician campaigns. My best friend owns this house, a journeyman electrician, union guy, 28, 29 years now. And he gets so mad at them because here they all their union money goes to Democrats, and it just drives him
Yeah.
nuts.
I shop online because everything on the internet's true and safe.
Exactly.
Hey, I try to buy American whenever
They
I can, but it's so expensive, and I can get the same thing from Amazon from other countries. It'd be the same thing, and it's a lot cheaper.
their goal originally with NAFTA was to bust the UAW because it was such a giant union and had so much power, and they busted it. It's still big, but it ain't what it ain't 1979 big, you know.
I mean, do they still make TVs here in America?
I don't think so. They used to make some in
I think they
Kokomo,
all come from
Indiana,
China now, ain't they?
probably. Or I know in like washing machines and stuff are in Canada, you know, and they moved a lot of the auto stuff to Mexico
Yeah.
because they had the factories built before the law ever passed. But what I'm getting at, these unions who supported these politicians all these years, the politicians sold them out and they didn't do nothing about it. They still support the same parties. I'm like, really? That makes a lot of sense.
Hey, Bailey.
Hey Bailey, good morning. How are you?
No, there ain't no way to buy all American these days. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's not made here no more.
If
And
you
when you try to
if
buy it, you
you
try
shop
to, well,
if
it's
you
just
shop
high.
at, oh, it's just the tool place. What's it called?
Big van import.
The big tool place in every town now. I'm just brain locked on. If you shop there, shit you're buying there is all Chinese made, or else it's
Yeah.
remanufactured. Now I do have an electric impact for like taking lug nuts and stuff off that I bought there, and it's worked forever and a day. I
Now, when I
still
bought
use it.
my electric impact, it's like 500 something dollars. It's Milwaukee.
Yeah, well, no
One of
more
the
than
deals
I used
I
it.
thought,
No
how
more than I
much
used it. I didn't need to buy nothing that expensive. The electric impact I bought was mainly for changing car tires, which I
yeah,
don't
Harbor
do that
Freight.
often. You know what I mean? And
Maybe I'm just up here hanging out with Bugman and Eric and everybody in chat.
now I see why I had turned off the YouTube notification on my phone. Jesus.
That was a standby. Wow.
Harbor Freight, that's what I was trying to think of. But this
Yep.
electric impact that come, it even came with an extra set of the magnets, you know, that wear out on the thing or whatever. But I bought it, and the only time I use this when I need to take tires off a car or whatever, and it works perfect. I've had it for 15 years or so.
Yeah, there's a at Pop Bluff, Missouri up here, they got a place called Toolorama. That's where I went and bought all my tools when I had my welding business. And they're all China made tools, but they were good tools. But that's the only place you could have went to buy the big 2 inch up wrenches and sockets and stuff that
Yeah.
you could afford.
Where you think they're going to head you at, Bailey? Where are they going to send you to?
Morning 217.
You talking about maybe the storms in the out Iowa, Oklahoma areas and all that? Big snowstorm coming
217.
through.
Left those.
Yeah, the
Yeah, Harbor Freight's a lot like Temu. You have to look at what you're buying because you can buy something that's bad and won't last long is what I'm saying. And then you can buy something
yeah.
that's gonna last you a while.
Well, like like the impact gun I'm talking about, it was exactly perfect for a guy like me that was, that ain't using it every day for work or nothing.
Yeah. Like I went to one at Papa Bluff and I was looking for toggle switches to put in my boat for the lights, the live well, the bilge pump, and they didn't have none in there. I'm like, what?
Yep.
I had to go to Napa to get what I needed or O'Reilly's. And then I won a 8 pack of the good waterproof ones off Temu. And I said, well, there you go.
I'll be honest with you. I miss Sears and Craftsman. I used to always buy Craftsman tools because they were lifetime guaranteed. I had a floor jack one time. Got it for Christmas when I was married, and I probably had it 25 years and used it quite a bit, but just in the garage, jacking
Yeah.
cars up and stuff like that. Not professional, but when it finally wore out, I went and bought another one just like it. And I probably third time I used it, the seal started leaking in the plunger part of the jack.
Yeah.
So I take it back to Sears, and by this time it's not a Sears department store; it's just a Sears tool store in a little strip mall place. And the guy's like, "Yeah, we can send that in and get it fixed, and it'll be back in a week or so." And I was like, "Oh no!" I said, "No, you're gonna go over here and get a box and give me another one. That's what Sears does." And this kid's like, "No, we don't do that anymore." I said, "I don't care what you do." I said, "I'm going to go over and get a box and take it with me." I said, "You probably ought to go get the manager."
Hey,
And
there's Rent Rod. Welcome
yeah,
in, River Rent.
and the manager come over and I was like, "Dude, I'm telling you right now." I said, "The last one of these I bought was 25 years ago. It just went bad. I bought this one. I used it twice and the seal's leaking." I said, "I'm not going to have you send this jack in, me wait 2 weeks, and you get it fixed and send it back." I said, "If this was Sears, I just go in and you give me another one." And manager went over and got the jack box and brought it over. "Here you go, man." I said, "Thank you." And,
Yeah.
and the Sears of old with tools and stuff is going. Heck, you used to be, you had Sears Craftsman sockets or whatever. You broke a socket, you take it into Sears, and they just hand you another socket. Those days are gone. I'm still stuck in the old world when things were cool.
Yeah, I went to Harbor Freight up Syston one day and I looked over. I said, "What's that table over?" It says discount. So that's stuff that people's brought back or returns or whatever. I said, "I don't want nothing off that table."
Hey,
and
buddy, how are you, buddy? I'm trying to catch back up. I miss people. I'm sorry. yeah, yeah, Terry. I'm sorry. If you're gonna use tools to make a living and you're buying them at Harbor Freight, you're right. You're not gonna be there long, and the tools aren't gonna
yeah,
be there long. It's different if you use them tools to make a living, then you buy Snap-on or Matco or something that you pay for what you get in that. But the guy whose car you're fixing ain't gonna care if your wrench is broke or whatever, and you're waiting to get more to finish the job. He don't care. He wants his stuff. I'd love to be able to afford them things, but I can't. Not Snap on or nothing. I ain't got no need to. No, my buddy's Harley mechanic at the shop or whatever, the actual Harley shop. He's got this little Snap on impact about that big, air impact.
yeah,
And it twisted off an Allen head socket. It broke the actual Allen head part of it trying to break something loose one time. You in this little thing, you look at it and I'm like, "You gotta be kidding me." He said, "I broke it right off and showed it to me." I
yeah.
mean,
Like that
it's all
Milwaukee impact. I got the best one. It's the biggest one, half-inch drive, and come two batteries at a charge deal. It's like 500 something dollars. And I broke 1 inch bolts with that thing, trying to get them
yeah.
loose out of the farm equipment.
Yeah. Now I do use when I worked on my dirt bike a lot. I would use that impact from Harbor Freight to break the crank nuts loose. Big nut about like that, and
John, you'd be lucky to pick up an animal.
I can break an anvil.
You might be able to push one over.
One of my first assignments in welding and metal fab class at the Career Center in high school,
A little animal.
guy had me. I took the first year welding and then went into metal fab. And the first thing I done in metal fab, he had a anvil that was come from his friend's farm or whatever, and the flat part was all beat to heck. He
Yeah,
literally had me sit there and run beads of welds until I built up about that far. And then they
yeah,
machined it off. He said it's the best practice in the world. I said, "Yeah, but it's boring as all get out." But yep, I rebuilt the face of an anvil. And I forget what the rods we used. They were an expensive rod. I don't waste these, and they were an expensive rod because of the quality of the steel it would make on them welds. You know what I mean?
yeah. I had one in my weld shop. It was a big, big, on a little stand and everything. I backed into it with my forklift in the shop, knocked it over. I went back here, stood the stand up, and I went to pick that dude up. And man, I picked it about a foot off the floor. I said, forget this crap. I
Yeah.
took the crap to it with a forklift, picked it up, and the guy that worked with me, worked for me, he guided it. We set it down on it. I said, man, don't ever try to pick that up.
You know, when the factories all closed here, the big thing that a lot of guys got from them when they closed and had the big sales and stuff was the vices they had. I forget the name of them. They're round on the end and kind of taper, and they're starts
Yeah.
with a W, I think. But these things are like $700-800 vices. And
When I closed my shop, I sold mine for $6.
the vice, yeah, I forget the name of them.
The anvil. I sold my anvil
Oh,
for
the
$6.
handle.
I had 2 big vices, and I think I got like 3.5 for each of those. They were big. They had the little anvil made on the back of
Yeah.
it. It wasn't big. I mean, they had the mouth on it was that wide. So
What was the name of these vices? You can buy them today, but they're almost $1,000. But a lot of the factory guys that worked in the factories, when they were getting laid off and the factory was closing, a lot of them got taken. And
one of them was Russell,
I can't remember.
and then another one was
It either started with an M or a W. I can't remember.
Clark manufacturing company or something like it, that.
And
They were old. They had
smooth.
handles that long to crank down.
Well, these ones here were butter smooth too. The handle crank, you know what I mean? I'm not naming my vices, especially
I turned one over.
crowd. Oh, I got plenty of
my vice, especially in this crowd.
1-800-RENT-A-FISH for all your fishing needs. That's right.
Yeah, I turned, hit that vice. It fell over when it did. It knocked a big chunk of the concrete floor. I mean, so
yeah,
it's hard.
In fact, I just took the vise off. I had an old desk that I used for a workbench in the garage, big old heavy metal desk that I had for years, and there just wouldn't be room in this garage for it for a workbench. So when my buddy and them was taking the garage apart, I said, "Hey man," he called me and said, "What do you want to do with this workbench desk?" I'm like, "Man, I really ain't got room for the desk." I said, "But you got to take that vise off." For a friend of mine gave it to me, and it's a pretty good vise. It's not one of them factory ones, but it's a good one. And I said, "Take the vise off for me, or I'll come and take it off myself." You know, I said, because I want the vise. Shawnee give it to me.
I'll glue Miami Vice.
Vice from Kmart. Kmart Blue Light Special, man. Ain't nothing better than a Kmart Blue Light Special on aisle number 17. Look for the blue light flashing. Remember when Kmart first come around, they had a diner in the back of them where you can go in and get lunch and stuff.
Yeah. See, I built me a weld table over there, and I had almost $2,000 in that table the time I built it because I put a 1/2-inch plate on top, and it was I think a 4x10 or 4x12.
Yeah.
I think it was 4. Yeah, it was a 4x12. The plate alone was $700.
I got my cousin's husband. He's a union iron worker. Iron worker and welder, and he's got a little shop, so I don't even have to have a welder or anything no more. If I need something welded, I go over there. I did have one of them little cheap wire welder things for little stuff.
All right, Dom. Take care. Have a good day.
I missed where's he at? You say Doc?
Donald Knight.
Oh, okay. See you, Donald, man. Thanks for coming around and hanging out with us, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, he said gotta get busy.
Yeah, gotta get busy. I hate that word.
Yeah, when I sold out my weld shop, I broke even. I sold forklift, SkyTrack, about all my tools, welders, and
yeah, John, I agree with you, man. We when I was growing up, we had to place the boat on the Ohio River when I was little, and when the barges would go down at night, they'd make big waves, right? Well, you get up in the morning and walk the banks and find arrowheads. because it would to be like finding seashells on the ocean, how the waves come in and turn the stuff over. And that was just one of them things we done every morning when we was there.
Huh.
And we had a thing of arrowheads. They were all perfect arrowheads in a case with like cotton, and it was a big frame thing. And my brother had a drug problem, and I stopped. There was a rock shop, for lack of a better word, for the laboratory or something they call them. But I stopped in there one day, and there it was sitting behind the counter, and it was for sale. And I asked the guy, "Did you get that at?" He said, "Oh, somebody brought it in, and I bought it." I said, "Yeah, have red hair, did he?" And it's the only one in the world. It was ours, and my brother sold it for drug money. And at the time, I had just gotten divorced and didn't have much money. I was just starting out as an appraiser. I didn't have the money to buy it back, so it was gone forever. I even told the dude, I said, "Man, is there any way you could put that up for 6 months and I come in and get that from me? I ain't got the money right now." I never told, anyone. I never told mom and dad about it or nothing. But that's what John was talking about, the vices and anvils and stuff being family heirlooms. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. And he said his brother probably sold it by now. And I'm like, yeah, I understand that one. That was, and that was a tough pill to swallow because I could have, probably went to mom and dad and said, "Hey, man, I need some money to go buy this." But I'd had to tell them what it was, you know what I mean? And then they would have known my brother sold it for drug money. And I was like, yeah, I don't really want to start that cart down the road anywhere.
Yeah. My pop sent me the neighbors. My pop sent me to the neighbors for skyhooks. They just laughed.
We sent a kid to the motorcycle shop one time, told him to go get us some muffler bearings for a 1999 Yamaha YZ250. And you go to the shop and tell them we need to order this.
Yeah, we worked in a metal plant building steel structural tubes that holds the buildings up, the great old big ones. And we sent a guy over to the tool room one day and said, "Hey, go get that leather stretcher over there." He went over there and they sent him to another part and another part. He was gone all night long. When he come back, the boss fired him. He said, "If you're that stupid, we don't need you." Worked in a metal place, sent him over for a leather stretcher.
Hold on, I got a text I got to answer real quick.
Oh, I thought you was froze up, but he didn't move. I was like, "Is he froze up? Am I froze up?" When I first started working on aircraft props, they thought it was funny to send me to the aircraft supply after 5 gallons of prop wash. Hey, there's Chestnut. Says, bringing the girls sausage, egg, and cheese, English McMuffins, and tater crowns, cooking and listening. Awesome.
I don't know what a tater crown is, but I'm pretty sure I'd love them.
I don't know either. Tater tots.
Shingle stretcher, I like that one.
Yeah, shingle stretchers. Yeah. Yeah, we sent that dude after a leather stretcher. We worked at a metal plant. He was going all night. Towards the end, he come back and said, "I can't find it." Boss said, "What?" He said, "The leather stretcher." He goes, "You're fired. If you're that stupid, we don't need you." And fired the dude right there.
Yeah, I first started at the cable company and was learning to climb and stuff, and was riding with a guy training to do cable. And he said, "Oh, we was driving through downtown Muncie, and they had metal poles, light poles and stuff, and going through the alleys." So yeah, man, we'll get back to shop, go and ask him about the magnetic gaffs, for climbing poles. I just looked at him and said, "Dude, really? You think I'm that stupid?" He said, "Oh man, I get every new guy on that. Not this one."
Oh, you get some coming there, they look at you like, "Are you stupid?"
Yeah, magnetic gaffs. I was like, "Nah, man, dude. I ain't the smartest tool, but I'm definitely smart enough to know that there ain't no such thing as metal gaffs or magnetic gaffs for climbing metal poles." Yeah, blinker fluid. Our big one was muffler bearings. I always tell young guy, hey man, run down to the shop. I ordered some muffler bearings. They should be in. Go pick them up. What time we got? I got to see here because I wake Dad up at 9. It's 8:28. I'm good. And I figured by the time I finally get him woke up and coffee and the paper and maybe some breakfast, and I have to start getting him ready to go to the doctor.
Yeah.
It looks like it's a nice morning so far, though. Sun coming up through the trees there. I didn't even notice. It's a bummer. In the wintertime, it's all the way over there, but in the summer, it's back this way. And if it was there now, I could, because in the summer, when the corn grows up, you can't see the sun actually come up. It's already up a little ways. But right now, you'd be able to see it come up on the very horizon. But it's back between the trees. I'm like, oh man, you're killing me, Smalls.
Wiper belt.
Yeah, no doubt, John. If that's a man or a woman, no doubt, dude. The world's a messed up place right now. I'm telling you, I'm glad I'm old. I'm not lying about that. I would not want to be. I would not want to be young. Me and my son argued about it. I said, dude, the freedoms that we had that you guys don't have now, you would be crazy if you would go crazy if you knew how it used to be. Hey, good morning, Cody. It's good to see you, buddy. Where are you going? So you're on your way.
How's the missus, Cody? Says, right, John. I tell my wife I'm saving signal fluid when she gets on me. We're not using signal.
Yep, that's a fact. 30-30. I know the first time I ever tore a roof off, I ripped the butt out of my jeans moving up and down, sliding up and down on my butt on the roof from nails I missed. Bubble machine coker. It would give you 5 gumballs, and there was 6 callers.
Cody said, "How long are you live, Buggy?"
I started at 5, and I go off at 9 when what's his name goes on with the rig tying show and on Friday mornings at 9.
Oh, double hook.
Yeah, it's 8 o'clock his time, but it's 9 o'clock here in God's time. So I'll be getting off here, Cody, in about 30 minutes.
Usually, yeah, what gets me is that when you work at a place that's welding and you see new guys come in there go take a weld test, got all them stringy whole jeans on.
Yep.
This is going to be interesting.
Yep.
How's your wife, Cody?
Cody, I send a link if you want to come up, brother. I always forget to do that. You're more than welcome for the last 30 minutes. Oh. Where we go over here, figure out how to do all this stuff because
we see them come in for a welding test, and me and a couple guys sat back, look at each other, and say, "Yep, this is fixing to get interesting."
I was at the Career Center doing a welding metal fab class. We went down to Indy for the high school welding contest, and we were walking from the place where the welding contest was down to McDonald's to get lunch, and there was about 8 or 10 of us. And as we're walking along, everyone but me and another guy cut across the grass to shortcut to the parking lot to get into McDonald's. Well, me and the other guy walked up the sidewalk, and followed it around. Well, when we're headed up to go in, this old lady in the car is yelling at us, and she's waving some money. And so I'm thinking she wants us to go and get something for her. So I go back over there, and she said, I just want to give you guys this money because you're the only ones that you didn't cut across that grass. She gave us each $1 each. It's like, well, thank you, man. And that was, 1981 or two, $1 back then would buy you a cheeseburger and half a French fries or something.
Yeah, Smallwater's cutting out. He's leaving.
See you, John.
Cody, how's
Mom's
the
ringing
business?
on the door for breakfast. Okay, John, have a good day. Tell Mom I said hi. See, and then we'll try it again next week and see if she remembers me. Yeah, I see now why I didn't. Morning, Cody.
Morning. I don't know if I'll keep service, but I'll try.
Okay, no worries. I'm liking them glasses. That
Oh,
blue chrome. I like blue. Blue's my favorite color.
What kind of rental car did you get?
a Camry.
Oh man,
Cody looks like he's
I
on
tried
the way to a hitman's convention.
Yeah,
I tried talking.
Now you broke up there, Cody. All I got was I tried talking.
I tried talking her into a Tesla, but she didn't want that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
nah.
I'm starting to see
She
them
got,
around here, man. They brought
she
them.
got a
Brian, good
Camaro or
morning.
a Charger.
Brian B said, "Good morning, zipper snippers."
Yeah, that's Brian B, the bedwetter. Don't let him kid you.
Get the yellow sheets hanging out back.
It's a horrible person. Oh man, Terry B, talk to text just doesn't work for me. I don't know if it's my hick slang or what, but talk to text never works.
Well, I'm glad she's wasn't seriously bad hurt, man.
Yeah. Did she hit someone or did somebody hit her? I hadn't heard because
Somebody pulled out in front of her.
No kidding.
Yeah, Cody said hit that person in their front tire.
No kidding.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a
so I imagine
four-lane road, and he was trying to cut across to the opposite side of the road, and he just gunned it. And I don't know why, because she hit him right in his front passenger tire. Like, she had to have been right on him when he went.
Oh yeah, to hit the front tire exactly. She had to been real close. I'm with you. I get to 100% what you're saying.
So, but yeah, I'm glad she's not been hurt worse than she is. She doesn't feel too good. She stayed home from work again today.
So it didn't break her leg.
No.
Good deal. I imagine she's sore though.
Really, really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guarantee she's sore.
She called me. We were hooking to the boat. So today she sent her at home alone. I'm going fishing. I don't care how she feels.
Morning, Mr. Tully.
I gave you 2 days. I'm out.
And I only say that because I know she's not watching.
Exactly. Yeah, 2 days is all you get of sympathy. Now I'm leaving. I'll be back later.
Oh, mercy.
She's just going to, I think she probably stay nap for most of the day.
Yeah, I'll bet. Yep.
So,
yeah,
go try to catch a couple blue cats.
Y'all gonna go live later?
Well, should we go live or on YouTube or TikTok? You tell me.
We had this TikTok discussion a little bit ago, so my opinion on TikTok's pretty clear, man. I won't use it.
Yeah.
The money generated from it supports the Chinese army or Chinese military.
Part of that. Yeah.
I'm like, we're sending money or people use that platform. The money goes to fund the military that someday may be shooting at their own kids. So I won't. That's the only reason I don't use it. You know, I watched the congressional hearing on it.
I understand that, but at the same time, which never mind. I ain't even gonna make that argument because two wrongs don't make a right. But there's a lot of things we support that the same way.
Yeah, but I mean, well, this hearing I watched, the congressional hearing, they talked about the percentage of the money from that was being used. You know what I mean? It's a huge percentage of the money is being used specifically for that. Because there was the hearing they had about whether they were going to outlaw it or not.
Yeah, what's bad is it's outlawed in China.
Yeah.
Here's my thing. is I only say TikTok because I feel no obligation to keep up with chat on TikTok.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay.
I
I
have
see
no,
what you're saying. Yeah.
no
I
I
don't
have
know
no.
how it works, so I know. And the one thing I know, you can get a ton of subscribers quick.
Well, there's people that want to keep up with chat just like we do YouTube, but I don't have that personal connection to most of those people
Yeah.
that are
Yeah. I see what.
watching the same.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
Exactly.
remember that. If you're on media, so any kind of platform of social media, your information's already out there.
Oh, you don't even have to be on social media anymore. They got it.
Yeah, just go buy a cell phone. They got it.
Well, the story I told about the way I confirmed 100% that they listen to your phone when you're not using it. Okay, I got what's called a recluse clutch. It's an automatic clutch for a dirt bike. And there's a very small percentage of people in the world that know about this product. Very small. You've probably never heard of it before. Okay, well, I'm in the village pantry, which is, like a quick stop or whatever. And my phone's in the truck. But the guy at the counter there, this it had come in and it's like $1,000. I've been waiting for it for a couple of weeks. I was stoked, so I'm telling this guy about this automatic clutch I'm getting ready to put in my dirt bike. This guy doesn't ride motorcycles or anything. Well, when I come in the pantry the next day, he's like, "Dude, you're not gonna believe this." He said, "I got ads this morning for recluse clutches."
Yeah,
They're listening because his phone was laying there on the counter, and that for one, he didn't research them or anything because he doesn't have a motorcycle. He doesn't know nothing about them. But they were listening to our conversation, and his phone him them ads.
I agree with you because every time I order Taco Bell, my phone starts showing me diarrhea medication.
Oh, I figured they'd show you Depends medication. Because why actually stop what you're doing to go to the bathroom when you don't have to?
yep.
Oh,
Well, I never
that
used to get Peachy
But,
Fun commercials on Facebook.
everybody hears that they do it, and you have your doubts whether or not, yeah, they probably do or whatever. But that one there, 100%, they had to be listening because it's such an abstract product that I'll bet there ain't 1,000 people a day or there ain't 100 people a day order that product. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for that guy to start getting ads for it when he doesn't even own motorcycles, they had to hear that through his phone while we was talking because his phone was laying there on the counter. And that's when I knew, 100% for a fact that it is true. They were listening, and you always
Well,
hear they are, but you don't ever have proof.
well, I never had Peachy Fun commercials on my Facebook account until I called Peachy Fun to order a part for the release trigger. And the next thing I know, man, I've got commercials for Peachy Fun all over my Facebook.
Yeah. And they got, Snowden tried to warn America and nobody listened to it, and they make him out to be a criminal. He tried to tell us 10 years ago or more that, hey, this is what they're doing, and I'm going to have to become a fugitive and live in another country to try and expose this so you people know what's happening. And nobody cared. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He actually had the data to prove it, and he was hoping that people would pay attention and they would make a big stink about it and there'd be congressional hearings and stuff. Instead, they just gave him more money. There's a huge facility out west that's all it is it stores our data from every. And the way they talked about it in the congressional hearing was they store everything. Every keystroke you make when you're sending a text, every keystroke you make, they save it gathers everything. Your emails, your text back and forth with people, it gathers everything. So everything you've ever done that pertained to a communications device, they have stored.
Well, it's like Google. John Order messaged me, or he called me one day. He said, you know what? I said, what? He said, I was trying to find something on Google and it wouldn't give me what I was looking for. So I said, F you, Google.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I turned around about 2 minutes later. He had a text message from Google saying, we might be automated, but we still have feelings.
Really?
Please
Oh, wow.
refrain from using such language towards us again. And I said, no way. He said, yeah. And
Hey,
he,
Mr.
uh,
Paulie, how you
he
doing,
come
buddy?
up,
You come in.
sent me
No
a
way,
message.
man. Really? That's scary.
He screenshotted that dude and sent it to me, and that's exactly what it said. And I was
No
like, oh,
kidding.
I said,
Yeah,
no way.
that's real scary.
Yeah,
I'm
we might
surprised
be
they haven't
automated,
done
but we still
it
have
in.
feelings. We wish you would talk to us like that.
Yeah, see, I a lot of times if I'm searching for something that I don't want them to track me on or whatever, and I'm sure they track me, but I use DuckDuckGo for the search engine.
Yeah, I've heard a
Because
lot of people
just
switching to
yeah,
that.
just for one is because it's not Google. Google is such a huge conglomerate. I was talking the other day. I forget how long I've been on YouTube. A long, long time. And the first time I posted a video on YouTube, it was a dirt bike helmet cam video. And I think I posted about 3 of them, and I got an email from YouTube, and this would have been, gee, I don't know. How long have I been on YouTube? Let's see. It shows here. Oh, view channel. Where's it show it at? Somewhere it shows how long oh, there we go. 2008 when I joined YouTube. And they sent me an email wanting me to become a content provider. You know what I mean? Well, I had no idea what a content provider was.
Yeah.
I sure wish I didn't know where it was going and what was happening because I'd have probably been rich by now.
Terry, I imagine he probably did.
Yeah,
I told him, I said, John, you argue more with Google than you do your own wife.
that's real scary that there though. Oh, that volume's got to stay down. We got to
He
find a
said, I
way.
told you, man. He said, Google listens. I'm telling you.
Oh, I know they do.
If it has feeling, tell it to feel this and see if it's ready.
These are important texts I got to send. There's a friend of mine from church. Oh, wait, what time is it? Okay, we got a few minutes, then we're going to have to shut it down.
Hey, look up the definition of artificial.
AI. The AI is scary, man. I watched an interview with Elon Musk, and there was a group of 5 people that were the spearheads for AI, the technology, and he was one of them. And they were all together somewhere. I forget where he said they were at, but they were all together staying and working out the not rules for AI, but guidelines thereabouts. And he was telling them that this should go slow and that we should not jump into this and, make sure they analyze all the possible repercussions or whatever. And they didn't want to listen to him to the point he got mad enough he left. And, Elon Musk is a smart man, very, very smart man. And he's tried to warn people about it. These people wanted to move it along faster than it should have been moved along, and that's why you're seeing it start to progress so fast right now. So I don't trust it very much. It's scary, is what it is. You know, me and my son were talking about it. He said, "Well, what if it developed to the way that it made humans' life so much better that we never had to work or anything, and that it done everything, and we could just get paid?" And I'm like, I don't see it happening that way. I said, because eventually it's going to realize it doesn't need us at all. Then, if it can do everything it needs to, and then why should it be giving us money for doing nothing and then do away with us?
Yep. I like it when he was doing that. Somebody had him on some talk show thing, and they was asking questions about his commercial or sponsors or something like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he told me if you
Want to
yeah.
do what he wanted, and he told them to go F themselves.
Yeah, they were going to withhold advertisement on X or TikTok or
Yeah.
whatever
Yep.
because of a quote he had made.
Yep.
And he is the epitome. You've heard the term "have fu money." He has fu money, and he showed
Yeah.
it on not national TV, but in a national audience. And he told him in his exact words were, "You mean you're going to blackmail me with money? No, F you." I'm like, I love
He
guy.
called that guy out by name and told him
Yeah,
F,
yeah, exactly.
go F
The
himself.
dude from I forget what company it was, a big company. Yeah, and I'm like, I like the guy's got gumption. He ain't gonna play the game because he has fu money. That would
Yep.
be the greatest thing on earth to have fu money. And if you listen to what he said, he made a really good point. He said, "Go ahead
All
and
that.
don't advertise." He said, "So you not advertising leads to the demise of Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it." He said, "That's
Yeah.
fine." He said, "Then the people will determine whether or not that was a good decision on your part, meaning that they'll quit supporting your product if you did." You know what I mean? And that's
Yeah.
what he said. He said, "We'll just let the people decide." He done a post for Alex Jones, and he let the people decide. He posted, "Should I allow Alex Jones back on this platform?" And he had the thing for you could do the survey or whatever, and it was like 78% positive that yes. So he let him back on. He said, "I let the people decide what happened," and that's what he was trying to tell the advertiser dude. Well, if you quit advertising with this, the people decide whether they thought what you done was a good decision or not. And more or less, are you willing to take that chance kind of thing? You could end up like Bud Light.
Yeah. See, they got other manufacturer of cars that want to put out electric vehicles, but I'd like to see him take his cars and put generators on there where they keep the batteries charged up, where you don't have to stop and
I've
charge the car.
I've wondered about that forever. You know what I mean? I've wondered about why can't you charge the batteries, have two battery banks, one you're running on and one being charged while you were running. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Well, I'm
because
sure there's
think about it. Every motor made today in past histories has put alternators on to keep the batteries charged up.
well, see, and I'm sure there's a mathematical equation that goes along with it as far as the amount of energy produced compared to the amount of energy needed to charge. You know what I mean? And I'm sure it's
Yeah.
not possible, or it would have been done by now. Anybody else get the calls about Medicaid, Medicare? We're going to give you a policy, or you're not old enough, Cody, probably, but I get these
Yeah.
calls
Hang
every
up.
day.
Ignore it. Hey,
Yeah.
Size. Good morning.
When I was getting Dad's hospice stuff started, right, I had to answer every call because I didn't know who that might be, one of them or whatever. So I
Yeah.
finally got to the point when they'd ask me if I wanted it, and I say, "No, not really. I'm sitting in jail right now." Click, they hang up.
Cody might be to his fishing spot.
No, I'm checking traps.
Oh, checking traps.
We got what? Minnow traps,
No,
muskrat traps.
coon traps,
Ah, okay.
coyote trap. I don't see nothing though.
Yeah. Well, guys, it looks like we're getting close to
That's why I say, Cam, use the spin of the wheels.
knock this off. It's 9 minutes till, so I give everybody time to either go over there or go do whatever they're gonna do on a nice Friday. It looks like I got sun, which we've only seen. Yesterday was the first day in like 6 or 7 days we've seen the sun, which I think it does something to you psychologically.
Well, now I'm going to the boat.
No, River Rat, what we're talking about is if you had an electric car like a Tesla, okay, why couldn't you have one battery bank that runs the car and another one that the car, say the wheels spinning, for instance, you build a generator in it like an alternator, and
There's
it
no
would charge that second bank of batteries. And then when the first bank gets drained, you would just switch. It would kick the bank of batteries you just charged while you're driving, and it would start charging the other bank. You see what I'm saying? Why can't it run that way? That's what we were talking about. I'm sure there's a reason.
You want me to tell you why?
Yep.
There's no such thing as perpetual motion.
Yep. That's why I said there's a mathematical equation to that.
It takes, okay, theoretically, if there was no such thing as friction or gravity, friction from your tires, gravity pushing you down, then the energy it takes to spin to go forward would be the same. You could acquire that same energy back.
Yeah.
You're acquiring less energy back than you're using is the reason that doesn't work.
I was going to say there's a mathematical equation why it doesn't work, and I knew that. I just didn't know how to say it that way.
Man, them guys are so smart. They're geniuses. They can figure it out.
No.
Well, the last interview I seen with
it's against
charging
the law.
system on an electric car. I mean, there's guys on YouTube that still charging systems on electric car.
A car that ran off hydrogen.
There's lots of cars that run off hydrogen, especially out west. They have hydrogen pumps. It's your range, because hydrogen tanks are so much larger than what fuel tanks have.
Oh yeah.
And
I'm still with you, Cody, on the birds or robots that spy on us and they sit on the lines to get charged. I'm telling you, I'm so on that one right now. I keep telling people, hey, this is what happened, and I heard it from a guy, and it's got to be true.
Well,
because it makes so much sense.
I might not bring that up at the same time as I'm trying to tell you that there's no about the laws of physics, because I promise you.
Yeah, I know. I know what you're saying, and that's what the laws of physics that you're saying, and it all break. There's a mathematical way to explain what you're saying about.
Google perpetual motion.
Yep.
There's no.
There isn't, because the amount of energy needed to propel or to do it minus the amount you make. I know what you're talking about, but
you lose energy to friction, gravity. So the energy you're putting out, you can't harness more than you're putting out.
Yeah.
You can. It's equal if there's no such thing as gravity and friction, but there is gravity and friction.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you lose energy to that. I mean, you can. There's been millions of studies on perpetual motion. Nobody's ever.
If you ever perfected it, then probably the oil industry would still. Hey, we got to go, guys. It's 5:02, and I got a little dog that wants to go out real bad. I love y'all. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and I hope to see everybody again next week. It's the show that ain't got no name. We'll just leave it.
All right, Bugman, Eric, everybody. I'm going to cut out.